Disclaimer: the following Boundless Pod Trap episode contains strong opinions that some listeners may and will find offensive. If you cannot accept or respect others with a differing opinion from yours, then fuck off.
Rolling sound.
I like turtles.
Shush! Alrighty. Let me see your war face.
Now, y'all ain't planning on fucking these chickens, are you?
Picture it. Sicily, 1920.
Aren't we fucking funny?
Streaming from the Midwest, right in the middle of the U.S. From Omaha, Nebraska, you're listening to the Boundless Pod Trap, your entertainment podcast where we touch on all topics, from the crazy and absurd to the sacred and profane, and even the useless and unnecessary. The Boundless Pod Trap knows no bounds. And now, here are your hosts.
Good morning, everybody, or afternoon. What's up, boys?
It is morning.
It is morning. This is the first morning podcast we've ever recorded
On a Sunday.
on a Sunday.
I feel like I'm at
Sunday morning.
feel like I'm at church.
Coming down. It is the church. I am a registered minister, so
Nice.
hello, fellas.
Thank you.
Is that
Doing-
why you put holy water on us when we came in?
Oh, yeah.
That's what that was.
That's what he told me, at
It's
least.
a very slippery consistency. It's a
I always moan when I cover people with holy water.
anointment oil.
Ew. It smelled like tuna.
You're registered in
I've never actually had tuna before. It just always grosses the shit
Really?
out of me. Yeah.
God bless you.
tuna subs. Are usually my go-tos at like Subway or something like that.
I was always under the impression that tuna was like an anchovy, and
It
the
is.
Ninja Turtles like
Like a fish.
completely took me off anchovies.
I always thought that tuna is what a girl's locker room smelled like. Justin, you would know.
Starkist?
Why do they call it? Don't they call it like chicken of the sea? The tuna
Yes.
brand. Why do they call it chicken of the sea?
I don't know, because it doesn't even taste like chicken, but
Maybe.
I don't know. Let's find out. Do a Google search.
I'll be back.
I'm not gonna Google white chicken.
Because then you're gonna have ads for tuna,
Right.
And strip,
Because
and
chicken goes
strip
into
clubs on
everything,
your.
and then tuna can go into everything. I think it's more of like a, is that like a white people thing, or
Wow, you had to go there.
starting it off like that?
I think that we all
Mayonnaise.
need to start eating more tuna
I eat a lot of tuna, sometimes.
with garlic.
Actually, I do. Some of the squeeze garlic stuff from like Hy-Vee.
Now we're at church. So
And now instantly this podcast has been banned from YouTube.
Thanks. There goes our.
just speed up that part. I like the look on Justin's face when he was trying to clap and like have
The
coordination.
most white man clap.
And he had the biggest
let me find it.
smile on his face. And you could tell he was concentrating so hard.
You know that's gonna get cut out now because he's gonna hear that clip. Go, oh shit, I gotta cut it.
Oh
It
man.
makes it sound like I don't have rhythm. You know, I got all the rhythms.
Oh,
He is a very good dancer. I think that's what he does is dance.
He's a good. I've never seen him dance. I've done him do his. What is that? Karate,
Copayea.
capillarte. What is
Oh
it?
my god, capoeira.
Yeah, cup of coffee.
You've seen me dance before.
Hoya.
Dance a few times.
Pelvic thrusting.
I've seen a movie of him dancing.
I've directed a movie of him dancing somewhat.
I did a amateur night when Dipsticks was around.
Yes, it's ladies' night.
Yeah. Oh,
My
that's how you got hepatitis C.
my
Isn't that place like a
It's the pool room
isn't,
now.
oh, I thought it was like a daycare.
Still more balls and sticks,
But
but
lipsticks is still next door.
I did a one of my friends, his girlfriend's mom, was always going to like Dipsticks like every other weekend or something like that, and she
So
like
you decided to dance for her.
she snuck us in, and then she's like, "Get up there." I was like, okay. And she's like, "Just do one song. Just do one song." It's like, all right, cool. So I got maybe like $60 of tips or something like that, and like,
All from her.
and I wasn't 18 yet. So, but they didn't know. So
That's why they're closed and they're a pool hall now.
well, Andy went up and he's like, "Do you have the song Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting?" You dance to it.
Yeah.
Did you have your Jeff Hardy armbands on when you were up there dancing?
Yeah.
Did
You're
I don't think so.
thinking about
I
it.
probably had like Jinko pants or something like that at the time.
Baggy clothes.
It wasn't.
He had to
like
take off
that,
his 4 belts.
They weren't that parachutey, but yeah.
So you didn't show your ding dong, did you?
No, I just went down to my.
I don't think they
boxers.
can show ding dongs at the men's clubs.
You can do whatever you
I
want.
don't know. I've never been to one.
You probably can't stay there afterwards, but
Dancing like, get the fuck out of here. You disgrace me.
I've been to the Playhouse here in town.
they have community playhouses.
Yes, their amateur night. I think it was like every Wednesday, and it's just like it's weird, and it's not like actual amateurs. It's girls from other strip clubs in the area coming over to try to make an extra $1,000, which I don't blame them. I would do it if I could, but yeah, it was interesting.
I've watched lots of amateur stuff on Pornhub, and they are definitely not amateur.
No.
They're
They just do that because I think it's more of the pervert like you that went to Pornhub to masturbate.
Exactly, yeah. They know their audience.
It's just something in your mind, like thinking like, ooh, this girl doesn't know what she's doing. She's real.
She always does,
but
though.
I want something with
She
a little less
says
effort.
she doesn't. She does.
Yeah, that same friend's whose mom that friend married a woman who worked at the Playhouse at one point. And I remember the commercial playing like at night every, whatever. She would come home and she's like, none of those girls work there. None that commercial's, yeah.
The Playhouse commercial?
Yeah. And there was, I guess at that time when she was working there, she's long since been out of the biz.
There's
a chick who had like a piercing in her chest, and she's like, yeah, she would let people put their fingers in the hole in her chest.
I think they really did work there though, because Michael shot one of them before.
Oh,
not
Whoa! Literally, that's why she's got that hole in her chest.
He photographed one of them. I'm trying to find. You guys keep talking. I'm trying to find the commercial for it.
It would have been like back in like 2004 or so. So
I've only been to the Playhouse once, to be completely honest, and it was for my bachelor party, which I had to be the designated driver to.
You had an awesome bachelor. I didn't even have
Right. 3 people showed up. We went to the casino. 2 of them won money and went home. The third one got so shit-faced, I had to drive him home. It was a rip-roaring good time.
And this was the song you heard.
Just feel the rhythm of the night, gentlemen. Satisfy your appetite at the Playhouse.
So
we were talking about a new theme song for the podcast. I think we found it, boys.
So what happened? So does this mean in 2022 I'm going to be the asshole who's playing all the stupid sound effects?
Yeah.
2020 was Justin, 2021's you, 2022's coming to me.
I didn't have the stupid ones. They were right on point. Right?
You can't tell me that wasn't the best local ad you've ever
It
heard.
says, come there for like ecstasy. So like maybe if I have like a kink of, having like 2 grown guys, manhandle me, like I go to the Playhouse so I can touch a girl and have 2 guys manhandle me. It's
Dude,
like,
they don't do.
I didn't even have to pay.
They don't do nothing there.
Please don't touch
I've
her.
seen lots of guys put their hands on the
Cinnamon, are you okay?
the dancers there, and the guys that work there that are like the bouncers. They don't care. They're just there because they get to be around naked women all the time, and like they literally, like I don't drink. We know this, none of us do, but like I get like a Gatorade or something there, and like the second you finish off that Gatorade bottle and you set it next to you, the freaking bouncer's there grabbing it to throw it away. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
What do you think I'm gonna do?
Yeah,
Like they took all of my tomatoes. I was gonna.
I remember getting some guys in trouble there once because I put $1 down on the stage, and because it's like this, you have to sit, and so like your chin is basically resting on the stage, and so I put $1 down. I thought it'd be kind of funny. I blew on it, and the dollar started doing like the worm across the stage. Well, the 2 guys next to me thought it was the funniest thing, and so they kept doing it, and the stripper was like, "Can you guys please stop doing that?" And like she got pissed because she thought they were blowing on her butthole, and so those two guys got kicked out, and I'm just sitting there like, oh boy.
Blowing Corona into a stripper's butthole.
This was probably like 2006,
She did a little turn, slipped on a $1 bill, cracked her. So much blood.
So much.
Man, yeah, there was.
Well,
So
what do we got to? What's going on?
before we move on quick, we did lap the horn. Welcome 2021, boys.
Oh, yeah. It's so different in this world. Everything is back to 100%.
100%. Nothing changed.
Amazing.
Do you guys have any New Year's resolutions you want to share with the crowd?
I don't do that crap. Because
you want to go around the table?
Let's wrap the horn. I'll start if it makes you guys more comfortable.
My resolution is to punch people that think they're going to stick to their resolution.
Right on.
I decided, and I'll throw it out there. I wanted to start dressing more responsibly, more like an adult.
He's wearing pants today.
I'm not wearing pants today.
Oh, he's not wearing pants today?
Yeah, they're still my ugly shorts.
They were at once pants, it looks like.
Yeah, they were at once pants. But, like, I got on Amazon and bought some vests and some ties.
What? To wear around the house?
Oh, I'm going to go outside eventually once this is all over.
Well, you wear it around the house. That way you can gain the confidence of, like, this is me.
I bought a sweater from Old Navy.
Oh,
man.
Right?
He's going Heathcliff Huxtable on us.
Fuck yeah. I put it on and I was like, won't you be my neighbor?
That's not Heathcliff Huxtable.
Do you want to go Frisbee golfing now?
I do have a set somewhere.
Heathcliff Huxtable's more like, I'm going to put something in your drink.
No, when it comes to resolutions, like, I was big on it for a while, but now that I think about it more, it's like, I used to work in the gym setting and, January, maybe February, it's just like packed, and then everybody goes back to like their stuff. It's like you have to scale things to a realistic amount, I guess. But waiting to start something, like wait until the new year to start something, or like since we do some journaling and stuff like that. It's like opening up a new notebook is cool and all, but like I got nothing in there. I can't reference anything now.
Yeah.
So it's like some people just. Bringing it back, I guess, to both of those, New Year's and journaling. People start like the new year with a new journal type of thing. It's like, but I still have like 80 pages left. I'm going to use those.
People nowadays, they don't do resolutions for themselves. They do it for others.
True.
And that's because they post it on Facebook.
They need that validation.
In the hope,
first.
yeah, exactly. In the hopes that people are like, oh my God, that's so great. And like encouraging them or whatever.
But it does work though sometimes.
I don't think it does.
When you put your goals out there into the ether,
people will keep you accountable.
You're now responsible now. Like I've found that to be the case. Like I've done a few fitness challenge type of thing, like 30 days, no gym, no whatever, just home workouts, eating what I can under a budget and stuff like that. And then I post the pictures and stuff, and I'm like, now I have to be accountable. I'm putting it all out there.
Why would you put stuff out there through your urethra?
That's what I always do.
Oh, okay.
Just what.
Well, plus I changed my outfit because I just got a random $600. So
you already. Oh yeah, you did get yours.
Yeah.
I've been checking my account like every single morning. I'm like,
I got mine 2 days ago.
I got mine on Friday.
My wife checked her account this morning, and then she got a few hits of like $200 charges from a PlayStation thing. She got hacked somewhere, so she's got a.
And you're here.
Yeah.
You're making her deal with it.
But fuck, Grand Theft Auto sure is fun.
You guys
like in real life or in the video game? He's talking about real life.
He is. That's what those extra cars were outside that were all smashed up.
All Ultimas. That's all I want.
I used to be into Grand Theft, like 2002 to like 2006. I'd play a lot of PlayStation 2, but I just can't get into video games. They waste your life. Now, granted, if I was like when COVID in quarantine, when you really have nothing else to do, okay. That might be a time to, but I'm not going to go out and spend $9 million on a fucking game system because that's like how much they are nowadays.
Right. I only play for health reasons. It's to ward off Alzheimer's and stuff. It's a mental, stimulation. So I just do it for my health.
So is writing and creating.
What?
That'll stimulate your mental. What? What were you going to say?
You thought? Squeeze me?
No, I guess my New Year's resolution would be to actually physically curb stomp those anti-mask wearers and COVID deniers out there, because wake the fuck up. It's real.
I'm turning a new leaf. I'm actually going to be one of those now.
Let's go outside.
I want to see what it's like.
to be an asshole and
people are like,
inconsiderate
you can't,
prick.
it's a 99%, survival rate. It's like, yeah, but it's still sucky when you get it though.
Yeah.
It's like, if I just sneezed right here and didn't cover my mouth, would you say cover your fucking mouth, or would you want me to have some sort of protection between the molecules that are transferring?
I'm literally, if people deny it and they don't wear masks where they're supposed to and have attitude about it, they're out of my life. I don't need those pricks, because
sneeze into the mic.
This is, yes, it's a 99% survival rate, but you should.
It's a 100% not pleasant.
Well, and this vaccine, you've heard the side effects now people are getting from vaccine. It's causing people to black out.
Mm-hmm.
People do that willingly already, though.
Yeah. there was a news person that got the vaccine in the middle of the interview on camera. Her eyes rolled to the back of her head and she passed out. And all these people, a ton of people. So it's like, I never was planning on it.
Well, if
I'm
you
not
get
getting
it,
this vaccine because we don't know anything about it. It was rushed.
I'm gonna mark it right now. Was it December 3rd?
January 3rd.
January 3rd.
Shit, I gotta go Christmas shopping.
Yeah, the 3rd.
January 3rd. People are gonna use this vaccine to try to get out of things like, the vaccine made me tweet this. It's.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Say what you're gonna say.
Nope.
I'll just edit it out later.
I think Corona's a hoax.
Okay. Yeah. He's got a point though. So
getting curb stomped.
No one I know has ever had Corona, so I think it's a hoax.
Like the sun Corona? Or?
There's probably still Corona floating around this house.
And no one I've personally known has ever had Corona. I think the numbers are fake. I think it's fake news.
I do think that this new wave of Corona.
Oh, it's gonna be so much worse than
that's
the first.
coming around. I part of me is the timing of it is kind of weird. Like I just think that I don't know. I'm sure it's real, but
it's been in the EU for probably about a month and a half now. So
that means Europe for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
man. I don't know. I mean, this world. That's why I said everyone's like 2021 is gonna be so much better.
Speaking of video games, people learned a lot about Corona through what was it? There was a multimedia online whatever game where I guess there was like some little glitch that caused everybody to get like this little virus, and they learned to understand certain viruses through this game. What was that? You probably know.
Earth.
Was it like Warcraft or something? I think.
Oh, fuck no.
But Earth, yeah, that's where I live. So,
Space Invaders.
No.
Pong.
I guess we are kind of in
Sim?
space.
Jungle Hunt.
Have you ever just scaled back
Asteroids.
and see how insignificant we all really are?
Oh yeah,
we're this
Are
little.
you having what is it, existential crisis?
No, I'm enjoying it. So.
Oh man.
So what's on the docket for today, boys? I think we've stumbled down the rabbit hole pretty far.
We're going to try the same layout as last time, where each of us brings a topic to the table, and then we're also going to play a game.
Ooh-hoo.
I should say, Justin and Lonnie are going to play a game.
Yeah.
We're going to do 3 more games.
One more round of games.
One more round of games because obviously I can't win points today.
Right.
So the next episode, one of these guys will do.
If you fit it into the rules, you probably could.
I think that
I get it. Point.
The next round that we do for 2021, I think it should be that if the 2 that are playing the game tie, or if we have a special guest on that wins it,
the other one loses a point.
The person that is doing the game gets the point.
That's fair.
Cool.
By the way, as in Tracy, is making a trophy for the winner as well, whoever has the most points. So not only does the loser get punished, the winner gets a trophy.
Are you going to repurpose a wrestling belt?
No, goodness no.
I have a smoking skull one at home if we want to use it for next time.
Yes.
We still need to make David Howard Thornton's trophy for winning the...
we do, and we need to
pissed
send
off.
it to him.
He sent me a message the other day, like, "Where's my fucking?" No, he actually didn't.
Did it in
It's in the mail.
the Joker voice.
All right, so who wants to go first with their topic?
I went last week, so I'll
just
start
take it away.
Start it this
Start it.
week. So
Let's get the...
for the 2020, since we got through that decade, I thought, what better than to wrap up that decade with kind of a decade movie wrap up. So I went ahead and wrote my top 15 favorite horror movies and my least 15 hated horror movies. They're in no particular order, and so everybody knows they are my choices, not anybody else's.
Not a collective.
So if you don't agree with them,
Jeremy probably won't. He will shit on everything.
They'll shit on every single one. They are solely mine. And to prove that I do watch other genres of movies as well, I did my top 15 other movies. I didn't do hated 15 because I don't watch other genres that often.
Like bromances?
Yeah.
I bet you I can guess one of your hated horror movies.
You can probably guess most of them. All right, which genre? What do you guys want to start with?
Let's do horror. Let's get scary and then get happy.
Good or
then get
bad?
Scary.
Number 1 on the hated list.
Hated. All right.
The cleansing hour.
We'll start. So when I did top 15 hated, keep in mind I did not do low budget movies. I did not do movies that were a lot of indie movies because those might suck due to budget and actors. I only tried to stick to higher budget movies.
And writing and directing.
Right. Okay. So number 1, 2019. Those are my good movies. What am I doing? Sorry.
You should have just committed to it. Just give all your crappy
Look at this
ones and things.
dork and his notes in his notebook.
I seen a really great movie. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, bottom 15 worst horror movies of the decade. 2015's The Witch.
Ooh.
I was gonna. I'm sorry.
2015's The Witch. I thought it was fucking awful. It was slow. It was garbage.
I don't think I've seen that one.
So bad. I do like the fact that they introduced Black Phillip, but 2015's The Witch.
See, when it came to like around that time period, if I saw a trailer to the movie and the trailer didn't do anything for me, I don't watch it. I don't care. And I remember seeing the trailer to that movie, and I'm like, I don't think so.
Do you have to like approach certain trailers differently? Like if you approach a Marvel trailer, you're like, seen the whole movie. Or
that's pretty much most movies nowadays, though. Not just Marvel movies. Like all movies suck when it comes to trailers.
All movies are rushed these days.
Right. All right. Number 2, 2018's Hereditary.
Oh gosh.
I 100% agree with you on that one.
And I watched that movie. I had to preview that movie to make sure it ran well in the theaters. I watched it by myself at night at like 1 a.m. in a theater that holds 300 people, and I still thought it sucked. Like the ultimate scary environment that you could have. I felt so bad for Toni Collette. It was fucking garbage. Someone who studies demons as well. Man, absolute shit.
That movie had like a lasting effect on me just because of the little girl in it. But like,
right.
they finally, I'm like, what? This is a totally different movie. This
exactly. All they do is promote that little girl, and they kill her off in the first like 10 minutes. Spoiler alerts, but these movies all fucking suck, and I'm going to spoil every single one of them.
At least you didn't tell him that she gets her head beheaded. Oh, shit.
Oh no.
I think with that movie, what ruined it for me was the hype everybody was talking about. Like, oh my God, this is the scariest thing ever.
A lot of my list is dedicated to this movie is the scariest movie of the decade.
Scariest? No, like one of the bigger shock value for just that part. Yeah,
right.
Like if they wouldn't have said it was the scariest thing and I just went and seen it without that, it would have probably been an okay movie to me. But I think the fact that everybody talked it up as like the creepiest, scariest, no, there was nothing creepy or scary about it.
Right. The next 2 would be my number 1 and my number 2 if this wasn't in a particular order, but it's not. Number 3 is 2010, A Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Oh, God, yes.
That was fucking
Loved
garbage.
it.
You get out of the fucking house. Don't even go out the front door. Leave through this window.
It would have been salvageable if Robert Englund played him and they did a little bit more with that.
I can't even agree that there was parts of the story that were watchable, but the rest of it was just so fucking garbage. It looked terrible. The acting was terrible. I absolutely adore Rooney Mara, and it was still so bad. I went to the midnight showing and then the 8 a.m. showing, and I was disappointed at both of them.
I mean, I kind of like the look of Freddy I hated,
Yeah.
but the look of that Freddy is probably more on par with what an actual burn victim would look like.
Yeah.
But that's not who Freddy was.
No, absolutely not.
It's one of those things like my thing with the It movies.
Right.
I won't watch them because Tim Curry is Pennywise. to
Right.
me. You can't take a talking character, especially a sarcastic one like Freddy Krueger, and have a different actor play him.
Right. Well, and the thing that irritated me the most about it is Freddy Krueger is not a child molester. He's a child murderer. There is a huge difference. But in the 2010, a child murderer isn't scary, but a child molester is.
Yeah.
So that's just showing what we've changed. That's my number one favorite movie of all time. So let's go ahead and ruin my number two favorite horror movie of all time with 2019's Pet Sematary. Fucking garbage.
I've seen bits and pieces of it because it was on when I forget where I was at, but they had it on. And it was like I started watching it. And, this is pretty rough.
And it's not even the fact that it's rough. Like, it was a beautiful movie and all, but when you change key aspects of the movie,
Like the little girl instead of a little boy.
yeah, when they change Gage dying to Ellie dying, it completely changes the aspect of the movie.
So I think they're trying to pull on different strings there. I mean, like a child, yes, kind of like the child murderer, child molester. Yeah,
Right.
If it's a little girl, it probably has more priority over a little boy. But like, and I hated that little boy in the first one. I was like, fuck, man, I want to bash her head in with that little evil look that you're giving right now. Like,
Like this.
yeah. No, it was a little bit more. See, you're giving me more seductive.
I know.
Do you want to kiss?
Because I need the table to tip the other way.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
All right.
For the points,
Next is 2014, It Follows.
sexually transmitted horror.
Yeah, it's an exploitation movie, and they did it very badly.
What year was it?
2014.
I thought you said 17. I was like, I thought that was older than that, but okay.
And it's weird. Like, they're in Detroit, and you expect Detroit to be shitty, which it was, but then they'd be like, oh, look, this girl's reading an ebook. Like, so is it old school? Is it new school? And the fact that, like, I wouldn't mind if the monster was invisible and it's an ever-present force, but when you can shoot the invisible force with a gun, like, it takes me out of it.
It is Eminem Marshall Mathers. He just follows people rapping.
Yeah, just screaming, Mom, spaghetti at everybody.
Yeah, Mom, fucking kill you.
Number 2013's The Conjuring.
I did like those. You didn't like?
I hate stories about Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
Like, they're always going to be wrong, and they're always going to glorify the fact that they were these great paranormal investigators, and they're not.
Yeah, when you put it on the realistic spectrum, it takes it out. That's one thing, like comparing something to something else, it usually does pull me back, but appreciating the art for the art itself, yeah. If you could have just changed their names, it probably would have been cool.
Sure. But that was what we were talking about earlier. That movie was portrayed as the best movie of the decade. And they showed all the good scares in the trailers trying to get people hooked. And then when it came to the actual movie and there wasn't really anything added beyond what we've seen in trailers, the movie was a letdown.
I think it's mainly because, what's his name? Wilson
Pickett.
What's the dude? The actor? Something Wilson?
Yeah.
The guy who played Ed.
He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah. And I hated him at first because, like, first thing I ever saw of him was, like, Phantom of the Opera, and that was and he played Raoul. And it's like, man, but then take him back and be like, oh, well, I hate him because he's that good, like appreciating something after the fact. It's like, oh, that
You're going to piss Paco off because that's his favorite actor.
That's true.
My thing with The Conjuring, I'll just say real quick, is I don't think it was a bad movie. I think the ones that followed, it was just like, it's all the same to me.
They're all cash grabs.
For sure. Yeah, I can see that.
You've seen the first one, you've seen the rest of them. So,
and this one's really personal. It Comes at Night.
We needed That's What She Said, but
that's what she said.
And the funniest thing, and one of my biggest gripes about It Comes at Night, is it never came at night. It always came during the day, and that just pissed me off.
Well, it depends on if I work or not. When it happens, when it comes.
You're way behind on this. I'm not waiting for you to get there. Next one, Insidious. I loved Insidious up to the last 10 minutes. And that took me so far out of it.
Insidious is like The Conjuring to me.
Yep. Next, 2017's Mother.
Is that the?
It's the Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, okay, that's not what I'm thinking of then.
Great movie. Another allegory for Mother Earth getting destroyed. It's a trope we've seen time and time again. But acting was kind of bad. Yeah, we got that. All right.
Thanks, Steve Carell, for calling in and just to say that.
Next one, 2010's The Crazies remake.
You like that?
I didn't really care for it much. I like the original quite a bit.
Yeah, the original's good, but I thought The Crazies, I thought it was good because it was just more modern. And
Yeah, I mean, for what it was fine. I won't say like one of the most hated, but it didn't really have anything for me more than the original did. It was an unnecessary remake.
Basically, shot for shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's
some
one
of
I
the,
haven't seen.
Some of those, I don't know. I
So
think that
I assume it's not worth seeing. So
Not worth seeing, yeah.
it's that one. I think the trailer kind of
Ruined
hooked,
it.
No, it hooked it for me.
Yeah, it
because
hooked it for you?
It just made, like I said, it was more modern and like the effects were good with it. So.
Right. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, 2017, A Cure for Wellness.
I don't even know that.
Oh my God, it was about water and then like leeches that made you live forever.
is Kevin Costner in this one?
No, Kevin Costner's not in this one.
Did you?
Saved it?
Did you?
I seen it in theaters.
Did
It's
you read the
fucking-
synopsis before you went to see it?
Oh no, it just said
Okay.
it was a
That
horror movie.
That explains why you went to see it. Because if you
Yeah.
would have read that synopsis, I'd be like,
Oh no.
next.
It
There's
was-
no like merman love story.
Nope, no more merman love story. Next, The Purge: Anarchy, from 2014.
I haven't seen any of those Purge movies.
That's the second one, or is that the third
I think
one?
the third one. Yeah,
Yeah, I like.
the first one was great. Election Year was great, and the prequel was great. But the couple in the middle, like they just tried to make it like more hardcore than necessary, and that one way jumped the shark.
Yeah, because I like the first one because it was inside a house,
Right.
and then the second one was like outside the house.
Yeah,
That
on
one
the
was
street. Yeah,
Election Year
Election Year
with
was
Matthew Broderick.
close.
Okay.
2019's The Lighthouse with William Dafoe and Robert
Haven't seen that.
Pattinson. It was.
Is that supposed to be a horror?
Yeah. It's A24.
Is that
It's a thriller horror.
yeah? Wasn't that roughly
Anyway, it's
that dude you H.P. Lovecraft? Wasn't that roughly Lovecraftian?
it's kind of, yeah. It's Willem Dafoe, Robert Pattinson stuck in a lighthouse waiting for a storm to pass, and just their minds
Going crazy.
degrading until one kills the other one. It's slow, and then it goes off the rails.
That's actually going to be how this goes down eventually. I think.
Oh, the whole world.
Well, I mean, at least the BBT. I don't give us 30 episodes and then one of us kills each other.
Oh yeah,
I think
I got 24 episodes.
I got my eye on this guy, though.
24 in us.
Your body will keep me warm.
The 2013 Evil Dead remake.
Yeah, I agree. That one, it took away all the
Visually, it was pretty cool. Story wise, I liked the pothead dude. He was funny. He was the comedic.
Right.
Yeah.
It took away all the comedic elements that were.
Yep. There's no campiness. There's no funness. I think even if it wouldn't have been an Evil Dead movie, I still wouldn't have liked the movie.
I agree with you.
Have you watched the series?
Yes.
Do you like that one?
Yes, I do.
I haven't seen the. Was it? We're up to. I think I'm halfway through the second season. So
And last one for the bottom of the horde list, The Strangers, Pray at Night. The second one. It was pretty much the first season, or the first movie again, just crappier.
People. Yep.
And it just shows how easy you could take them out.
like on a date.
Well, take them out, kill them, and why weren't they so easily killed in the first movie?
Well, that's how you date.
That's how you date them.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Oh, that's how you romance.
I've been doing it wrong all these years.
All right. Top 15 horror movies that I love. Oh, that's still where's the. Okay, here we go. Top 15 horror movies that I loved for the decade. And a lot of you might disagree, but these are my top 15 horror movies. Some of them might stretch into the thriller, an argument that me and Jeremy hold a lot. But here we go.
It's different
Top 15
subgenres.
Top 15 horror movies of the decade that I absolutely loved. 2014, As Above, So Below. I fucking loved that movie. It's found footage movie about people going into the French catacombs.
Yeah. Isn't that the one like they a piano key thing that
Yes, they found.
Yeah.
Yep, fantastic.
Cool. I like that one.
2014's Dale and Tucker versus Evil.
That was a good one.
An amazing horror comedy. Just great.
Those are hard to do without seeming to me like you're trying. Yeah. We didn't even finish the thought there.
Yep.
Try hard. Overdoing it.
We'll let the listeners figure out the ending to that.
There's two types of people in this world. One that can extrapolate data from incomplete data.
Yeah. This one, when I read the list to Tracy, this one definitely got an eyebrow raise out of her. 2017's Anna and the Apocalypse.
I haven't seen that.
Never
one.
seen it. It is a zombie musical.
That's probably why.
It is fucking fantastic. If you like musicals, if you like theater, it's great. If you like zombie movies, it's great.
I don't hate musicals. I like a lot of musicals, but in order to watch them, I have to be in the mood to watch it. I can't just like, let's do a musical tonight type of thing.
I like both of them, but
I
don't know that the combination of them is something I would like.
I randomly found it. It was charming. It was fun, and it still had a good zombie.
Charming.
It was charming.
Is one of your New Year's resolutions to? Never mind.
2017's Get Out. I thought Get Out was revolutionary. I thought it was fun.
I haven't seen that one yet. I'm a big fan of all of.
You don't see a lot of black people living in horror. Is all I gotta say.
Yeah, huh? These days, yeah, they're not the first to go.
This makes me sound terrible, but I got a copy, and it's super exciting. Copy of the Nightmare on Elm Street, Suffer the Children, which is a super hard book to find, which I'm so stoked about. And I was reading it last night, and randomly popped out of my mouth. There's a character named Chris, which is an African American athlete, and it just popped out of my mouth randomly. It's like, why is he still alive? And I was like, oh fuck.
Whoops. I don't mean to sound racist, but marble tile is better than just porcelain tile.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Usually when people say I don't mean to sound racist, they're like, well, when you say that, you are automatically sounding racist. But so I didn't sound racist.
I don't mean to sound racist, but fuck white people. 2015, The Devil's Candy.
I feel like I haven't seen half of your list here. Yeah.
Devil Candy's great. It's about an artist who is commissioned to do an art piece that's demonic, and his family slowly starts being
part of his paintings,
being corrupted by a demonic force. Fantastic. Find it on Netflix. Next, 2017's, and we can talk about this one at length. One Cut of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely great movie.
Go back to episode 1 if you want to hear our thoughts on
Holy
that.
shit. Was that? That was
I think that was episode 1 or 2.
Yeah, way back in the day. Followed by another amazing Asian horror movie, 2016, Train to Busan.
That was a really good one.
Didn't see that one.
It was very...
It's a zombie. It's a zombie horror movie based on a train, like people being stuck on a train.
It's mixed in different elements.
And it's a foreign film, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. A Korean
film,
and it'll be good.
Oh, so
if you
good.
liked The Mist, I think this one is better than The Mist, but same elements.
Sierra Mist, but I didn't like when they started adding the flavors.
Oh my god!
If you liked Encino Man, you'll really like Train to Busan. Is what that last comment was like to me.
Well, I guess at the very end, it's like it's right there. It's right there. And,
I love Encino Man.
2011.
Isn't it you?
2011's
The Zongas.
Cabin in the Woods.
I hated that movie. I absolutely hate it. And that was another hype thing. People hyped it up so much. And I'm like, this is it?
I liked it once I finally understood it.
Yeah. There's so much in the back that like holy shit. You guys got a whole library.
I thought it was fun until I really put my noodle to it and realized what it was about. And then I was like, okay, I get this. I like it better now.
Putting your noodle to something could get you in trouble. Woo-hoo. I went there.
I didn't get it.
Neither did I.
We'll tell you when you're older. 2015's Green Room. Absolutely love that movie. It's fucking fantastic.
Green Room.
I've seen
it's got Patrick Stewart in it. It's about a group of kids who go to play. They're in a band. They go to play this Nazi.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, go to play a Nazi show, and then they get basically kidnapped to a room, and they got to find their way out.
That's why I don't play Nazi shows.
I was
never
I
play
was
Nazi
thinking
shows.
Green Inferno for the longest time.
Fucking
Like that's
put that on my top
I was thinking the
16
Cellar.
terrible movies.
Isn't the Cellar where they, or no, the safe, where they have like the little
Oh, Safe Room?
safe room?
Yeah. With tiny Kristen Stewart when she actually could act.
Do you call that horror?
I've never seen that one,
Oh.
so probably not.
Mwah.
All right. 2014's The Babadook.
Nice.
Love The Babadook.
Yeah,
Shows and people who listen to this who are writers or anything like that who write films, that movie has exactly 21 seconds of actual monster in it. You don't need to slam a monster in every single scene to be a good movie.
I recently just watched a Netflix movie called, what was it, the Demon Slayer, the Demon Head Slayer or something like that, where the dude just goes around taking heads, and it's just pretty much one main actor and his daughter. It doesn't ever show any of the fights, but it was kind of encapsulating. You know, he brings back the heads and puts it on the wall and stuff like that, and has like this stuff that he, I guess, heals his own wounds and stuff. And
yeah, that's kind of a topic for another time. But like when it comes to writing and stuff like that, sometimes you don't have to show anything.
Nope.
It's what you don't see that's scarier because you, the viewer, are now creating.
Yeah, your imagination's so much worse than anyone else could ever imagine.
But it's also good to show things at times.
Right.
But it's a.
I think sometimes when it does show things, like you get the full effect, and you're like, I think half the time it's left with disappointment. You're like, oh, that's it? That's it?
I kind of want to change my topic to this tonight.
2014's Creep. I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
That movie is fantastic.
Did you like the second one?
Absolutely, yeah. Loved them both.
That guy, I don't know if he's a good actor or...
just sick man.
Yeah.
2011's Grave Encounters. Another one of those kind of cult-y-esque horror movies that I enjoyed.
Is that...
It's one about the ghost hunting group that goes to the...
Yeah, yep, okay. Is it when they're in like the RV and stuff like that?
No, this is the one where they go to that place and it's haunted and they can't get out of it.
Okay, I did see that one, but I'm getting it mixed up with another one.
2015's Hell House LLC. I know I told you guys about that one.
I love that one.
Did you get a chance to watch
did.
it? It's fantastic. If you watch all three of them, the first one makes so much more sense, it's even better.
I need to watch the other two, but yeah, the first one was good.
2012's VHS. I love anthology horror. It's probably next to found footage, my favorite genre. And the fact that VHS is as well found footage, it checks all the boxes for me.
One thing I really liked about that is like when I first got onto YouTube, or I guess searching YouTube and stuff back in the day, one of the first things I followed was these three guys, Matt, Tom, and Rob, or something like that. Matt, Rob, and Tom. They're the one at the hotel.
Yeah.
I believe that's them. Anyways, their film got put into that one. So it was like, and they made awesome, hilarious, and awesome, just like creepy ass shorts and stuff. And I want to check their channel out now again, see if they.
What are they?
It's like Matt, Tom, and Rob or something like that. Matt, Rob, and Tom.
Wow.
It might not even be Tom. It's like Matt, Rob. I know Matt and Rob are like the two.
Is it the succubus?
Yeah.
That must have taken a while to think of that name.
Yeah. And last one for the top 15 of the decade is The Host. It's a Shudder exclusive movie.
Oh, this is the one that you wanted us to watch.
Oh, fuck. It's so good.
I hope that the trailer doesn't do it justice.
The trailer
trailer
does not
sucked.
do it justice at all.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it was up there in my top. I just watched it the other day.
I love it. I think it's great.
There was, I mean, like, because it didn't show anything, really. I mean, one of the parts that I was watching it with my wife and my girls, and, like, the part where they throw the blanket on, you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
There's something there.
I was going to watch it last night, but I typed in HO, and then Home Improvement came up instead. No, I actually did watch Home Improvement, but
Home Improvement's great.
I was going to watch The Host last night, but I'm like, I'm going to fall asleep because I was tired.
It's relatively kind of like, what was that? Friended or unfriended, whatever. It's kind of like that, but
it's such a better version in my opinion.
It looks exactly the same though.
It is,
but it isn't. I mean, like they utilize a little bit more technology. Like there's one of the girls who's using like face recognition type of thing. So
like a filter.
Yeah.
That's been done though.
Yeah.
I've seen so many other movies that have done that, like short films that do that all the time.
Oh, every gag you'll see in it, it's just the quality of which they do it wrapped around the story they're doing it in. All right, and then we'll quickly speed through my 15 non-horror movies of the decade. 2019's The Dead Don't Die. I absolutely love that movie. It's so great. It's so bland, dark humor. It's
Never seen it.
so great. So great. We'll sit down and watch it one of these days because this is one of the greatest.
Is it like that? What's that one really cool movie? Rubber? Is it like that?
Rubber was on my list.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I could probably put something over Rubber. 2019, a movie.
Put a rubber over.
A movie Jeremy has said he's hated multiple times. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I like that movie. I like the twist at the end. I just enjoy it.
It was just I know Quentin Tarantino movies, and I love Quentin Tarantino movies, but this one scenes just seemed too long and stretched out. in this one for me. Like, they were unnecessary long, and they weren't very captivating.
Right.
I don't completely hate the movie. I just think it's his worst.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I guess of his movies.
Yes, of his movies.
I was going to say, like, did you think Little Nicky was cool? His little cameo in there?
So 2019's Jojo Rabbit. Loved it. So great. It was
the Hitler one?
It's about the little kid going to train to be a Nazi, finds a Jew in his house.
I thought that was a Disney movie, Jojo Rabbit.
No.
Huh.
2019's The Joker.
Oh, yes. Hell yes.
Probably one of the best movies of our lifetimes.
You want to talk about somebody that was against that movie? And then I saw the trailer, I'm like, whoa.
Right.
And then I saw the movie, and I'm like, cream.
I tried to put as little, like, Marvel and comic book movies on here as possible, because this could have easily been nothing but Marvel movies. But I'm like, this one does not count. Like, just The Joker is fantastic. 2018's, it was a documentary called Free Solo about a rock climber who climbed a mountain. I can't exactly remember what it was called, but a straight cliff mountain. He did it with no cables. And the whole movie was just building up to him climbing this sheer...
And he had to cut off his own arm.
Yeah, he got stuck at one time, had to cut his arm off. That didn't happen, but...
127 hours.
2017's Baby Driver. Absolutely loved it. Edgar Wright, it's amazing. If you haven't seen it...
I have not seen it. If I'm quiet, I haven't seen it.
The awesome thing about the movie is a lot of the action sequences are based on songs. So, like, whenever, like, it will be strong bass sounds, it'll be gunshots. Or if he's squealing around a corner, it will be a drum fill. It's like they match the song perfectly with the actions of the movie. It just makes it so much better because the driver of Baby Driver, he has to be listening to music while he does it. And it's an Edgar Wright film, so you know it's done perfectly. It's a fantastical movie. And the soundtrack and the audio design is hands above probably the best I've ever seen in a movie.
All right.
2017's Logan, probably the best comic book movie there's ever been made.
Pretty dark.
Dark.
And gory.
Beautiful. If you watch it in the black and white, we have the digital version that comes with a black and white cut as well. It's even better.
Do they do it like Sin City style where like blood and stuff is red?
I couldn't tell you. I can't see red.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Dickhead. 2010 Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
That was a really fun one.
Still, all right. So this will be our list anyway. 2019's Uncut Gems.
Oh yeah, that was good.
With Adam Sandler.
That's Adam Sandler's best movie.
You know, I laugh because he's trying to play like a shyster, but at the end of the day, he is a Jew, so it's a really easy role for him.
That movie gave me so much anxiety from start to finish. Like I've never been so uncomfortable watching a movie, but loved it at the same time.
So good. 2013's The Wolf of Wall Street.
It's a good movie. I wouldn't put it on a pedestal or anything.
Yeah. 2010's Inception.
I turned that one off. I didn't care for it.
Dream play is usually one of my go-tos. If you can fuck with dreams or time, it's like, nice. That's where the twist is for me.
Right.
Justin, wake up.
Is this a dream? We're not recording?
2017's Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
That was that was the best Marvel movie.
The comedy that they put into it, I think, was perfectly timed.
I would say
Absolutely.
I wouldn't put that over Deadpool.
Deadpool's not a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Totally.
It's
Marvel
It's
based.
a Sony movie, yeah. Let's see. 2018, Sorry to Bother You. Fucking fantastic movie.
Who's in that?
Don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know names, but it's about the guy who works at the call center. It's got Danny Glover in it. I know that much.
Isn't he too old for that shit?
No, he's working at a call center. He puts on his white voice, goes up to the top of the food chain, and then finds out the company he's working for is making horsemen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like Minotaurs or
like just men with a horse head.
so like
So you see lots of giant horse cock in it.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sold.
quit your day job.
Yeah, 2017's Ladybird. Do you guys watch? I thought I was bad for watching.
I'm
Dude, your
horrible at it.
list is all like 2017 and up.
I'm
Like,
still catching up in
there's
the
no-
90s, man.
There's no classics.
Because it's of the decade.
Have you
It's
seen The
everything?
Wiz?
But like everything's been like 2017.
With Michael Jackson,
19.
The Wiz?
The Wiz. Why isn't Star Wars Christmas special on here? And then last but not least, 2016 Swiss Army Man.
Oh, nice. That was
With
kind
El-
of fun.
with
It's-
Elijah Wood.
It's a his create more creative, I guess, projects like Horns and Swiss Army Man. Like they're actually really fun and like
Correction. These dumbasses meant Daniel Radcliffe.
yeah.
When he can let his hair down and be crazy, he's fan-fucking-tastic.
Well, when I get my movie room all set with my new recliner and stuff like that, I'll be watching a lot more movies.
That's like a
I
modern day with more Weekend at Bernie's type of
Yeah, like he can fill him up with water and make him float because the guy needs a boat. We're talking Elijah Wood.
Idiots. All of them.
He can push his back and give him like the karate chop motion like your action figures would had when he needs to cut wood. Like this guy is stuck on a deserted island or stuck in the woods, I can't quite remember. And so he was talking to Elijah Wood,
Still, Daniel Radcliffe.
who can talk back about his girlfriend, and Elijah Wood
Nope.
would get an erection and he's like, I don't know what's happening. It's
He
fantastic.
just doesn't
I
have
can
like
relate.
motor functions.
All right, that was my
Interesting.
45 movies of 2010.
You ever check out somebody's like curated list and you're like, oh, nice, and then like you have certain thoughts or about like a certain pick, you're like, what the fuck? Like that's on there?
Every
out of
list.
everything? Yeah.
I looked over some like people's top horror lists of the decade, and everyone's like, Hereditary is the scariest movie of the year, and I'm like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Like you know shit about
Those
this,
people need to get pink eye.
right? That's
He can't see pink. Can you see pink?
But if he
Can't
gets
see
pink
pink.
eye, he can. He's like, oh, so this is what pink looks like.
this is
And
what gray eye looks like.
Tracy, wipe your butt sweat in my eyes.
That's how you get rid of anything, right? Just pee on it.
Right.
So, whoa. I about knocked you out with my mic, Justin. So, do we want to do? We'll save your topic for the main one. That way, if we fall asleep, it doesn't matter.
I almost rivaled him. He's got 4 pages worth of notes. I had 3.
But it's like a book. He has it folded, and it's
Right.
tiny font.
It has a cover
put it-
page.
That's like
origami.
That's like size 1 font on that.
Right.
thing. Yeah, he's using a magnifying glass to read it.
I wonder why he had that monocle.
Do we want to play my game, or do we want to do my topic first?
Let's
Let's
do-
do the topic and then
What were you gonna say, Lonnie?
I was gonna say game, but what?
Oh,
let's fuck with what Lonnie says and do the topic.
Let's tell you, we'll let him. We'll let.
This is kind of his episode.
Yeah,
He's the
let's
lead,
do
so-
your topic.
Okay.
What's your topic?
So my
Blake?
topic, and I gave you guys some heads up because you needed to add to it.
Oh yeah.
Pet peeves. I got a lot of them,
So do I.
and I just think that we'll do is we're probably not going to get through all of our lists. We're just going to get through some of it until we feel it's good enough. But yeah, we'll go around the table and give one of our pet peeves and discuss it with the other two for a minute or so. But I'm going to start mine off. This one, and some of mine are going to be hard to kind of explain. And this one has been a pet peeve of mine for as long as I can remember. And I don't even know why it's a pet peeve. But I hate when people laugh and clap at the same time. It's annoying. I don't get it. Like what? Why would something make you laugh so hard that you clap? Like you're applauding them for like way to go. And it's like such a sporadic clap too. It's like
I think using clap to anything though, like when people try to get their point across, they're like, "You need to do this." It's like, why are you clapping or laughing with it? I had a motor sergeant when I was in the military who like he thought everything he said was funny, and it was annoying because it wasn't funny, and he would do that laughing and clapping, but like he had no control over his body. I'm gonna have to like listen in over the mics here.
We'll explain to you.
Yeah. So he'd be like, "Yo, you know, do this and do that, and whatever." Just like fall over everything. And it's like,
Justin's taking his pants off for those of you that can't see, and he's slapping Lonnie in the face with.
It's like if you said something that was just genius, on point, and he would just like look at you in the dead eye stare type of thing, like that wasn't funny, or like he's mad that he didn't think of it type of thing. It's like, come on. Yeah. But yeah, he just fall on things. Anyways, laughing and clapping.
My biggest pet peeve is wet socks.
That's my everyday right now.
Like just on you, or
just on me.
Wet socks,
just on me. Just like if I get my socks wet, like get snow in my shoe or step in a puddle and my socks get wet, I hate it. But to be fair though, I do have OCD, and a lot of my pet peeves people probably won't care about. But
OCD, is that a streaming service?
Yeah. It's $9.99 a month.
Yeah, I think wet socks suck.
They just bother me. Usually when I get wet socks, and this is no lie, I will take them off and throw them away.
You can dry them though.
Yeah, but
wash them and then dry them.
They're wet. And
you know what I like hated? Every summer, my family, when I was younger, we'd go to Adventureland theme park in Des Moines, Iowa.
Come on over to Adventureland.
And we would do that the raging river, that inner tube thing that you sit in, and like you possibly get like the last part. Like I was always the one that would get wet on that ride, no matter where I sat.
It's okay. It's because you really liked it.
I know. But like if you didn't get wet during it, like it would always, the last part was like you had to go under a little waterfall, so you would get wet. But then my socks would be wet for the rest of the time we're there. I mean, it was hot summertime, so like they eventually did dry. But then when you get to the hotel later that night and your socks are still a little damp, you take them out, the bottom of your feet are like ghost white and puny as shit because they've been wet all day.
Pruny?
Yeah. Pruny. They look like prunes.
Did you say puny or pruny?
They look like prunes or
my feet.
That's my day every day now since it's snow out. I try to dry my that's one thing that really sucks is like when you're about to start your day and you put your feet into wet shoes, you're like, oh my God. That's how this day's gonna be.
Get a boot warmer.
Yeah, I tried that.
That's why you should
put them on the vent or something.
Don't put your shoes next to the toilet.
No.
I told you, put them at the bottom of the steps.
Don't piss in your boots.
What's your pet peeve? One of your pet peeves.
All right, boys. Let's bring it.
Stuff that doesn't have garlic in it.
When you can't make the proper.
That's racist. They can't understand me.
Oh, Italians. You're crazy.
So my first one should be the first one because this is serious. All right.
Which means it's not going to be. Let's hear it.
This guy. All right. Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club.
You are messing with Lonnie's. His
sweater. He's wearing it right here.
His sweater vest he has on that says Fright Club.
The thing is like, people do not. You're not supposed to talk about it. That's rule number one. You don't talk about it. Here I am talking about it, and yes, I do expect us to go out back, and you guys can have my ass. I probably could have worded that better, but so what? Anyways,
the fucking movie's called Fight Club,
right? But even talking about it, there's supposed to be repercussions. What we need is like someone to put the brass to the tax and launch a fury of attacks and put you on your ass. You know,
see, this is
what like you need to have like some repercussions.
I know.
You know, these people who think they can get away with it, you need to put it down on those fools and come up on them and be like, Doyle rules. Like,
can we assume everyone on your list is going to be like this, not taken seriously?
Mine was 2 words: wet socks.
This guy. All right, but I mean, like, if you don't follow the rules, you can't have nice things, right?
He's not even half the way down on the first page.
These guys aren't taking it serious.
I'm taking it seriously. Your writing sometimes is fucking amazing, and your delivery is amazing.
But this is not one of those times.
No. I'm always very impressed by what you write. Continue.
But since you guys are also talking about this too, so after the podcast we'll go out and have it out. That's my first one.
Okay. Very good.
All right. Well, mine is my second one are people in public that talk on speakerphone with whoever they are.
Oh my God.
There's a time and a place for speakerphone, and in public around other people is not one of them. I don't care to hear about your problems. I don't care to hear I don't understand the meaning behind it. Like, why do you have to put, you still have to hold the phone. So why not just have it up to your ear? Having it on speaker doesn't make it easier for you. And they also have the Bluetooth earpieces. If you want to use those, use those. I don't want to hear your fucking person you're talking to and your problems, or if you need more carrots or celery. But that's my second one.
When people talk on their phone, I guess, the speakerphone thing, but then they put it right here, and then they're talking at the bottom of their phone really loud. It's they just got it all muffled. The phones now have a really good receptor. They can pick it up if you're
you can have it in the back of your pocket and it'd still pick you up perfectly. So that's my second one.
My second one is jaywalkers.
I'm a big jaywalker.
Then I hate you.
You can.
What
did you need to do to me before he curb stomps both of us?
I will purposely, if someone's jaywalking, not slow down, not with the intent to hit them, but make them think I'm going to hit them.
I think it's, for me, when somebody approaches the street, if you allow them to go and then they just nonchalantly go, it's no, I'm letting you pass. So fucking with a purpose. Come on, move. It's
I won't. If someone's jaywalking, I will just go around them. I'm fuck you.
Human speed bump, huh?
And then go and reverse over them again.
So what was that?
Sure. And then forward.
That damn alignment. Yeah, fuck jaywalkers. It's bad in Omaha, but fuck in California. Oh my God.
I always feel like the only time I jaywalk per se is when I'm in the old market. But at the same time, it's not really jaywalking because they don't have stoplights down there that tell you to walk or don't walk.
All right.
But I always feel like I'm
down in the old market when people look both ways to walk. It's it's a one-way road. But then again, it is downtown Omaha, so people are kind of.
Yeah, I was going to say it's 2021 now, and people can't wear a mask for 5 seconds.
These streets should be able to go both ways. That's
They're severely underestimating the potential of their roads.
Justin, what's your next elaborate piece you put together?
Things
Let's hear this monologue.
I don't mind people being in touch with their feelings. I mean, that's cool and all. It is 2021. You should be able to talk about certain things. But when you're crying over certain things, there is no crying in baseball.
God damn
so
it.
If you're crying in baseball, that's just not. It's an American sport.
You don't even like baseball.
I don't hate it. Baseball. And let me pass it back.
Okay,
that was it.
I could live with that one.
I mean, that was fair, yeah.
Who's Lou? You guys don't get it because you don't like that movie. A League of Their Own. So mine, I'll try to explain this. I hate overacting extras in movies that overact like none other, which happens a lot.
So I tackled the actor once. Sue me.
No, I just hate, what movie was I watching? Cobra Kai, I'll use for an example. So there's a part where the kids are fighting in school, and all the other students that aren't involved in the fight come out of their classrooms, and they're all standing there and stuff like that. And just how they're just yeah, and clapping their hands together and stuff. I'm like, no, you wouldn't. If this was real life, you wouldn't be doing that.
Right.
You wouldn't be acting like a fucking extra in a musical, like how they overact in those. But I mean, Spider-Man, the original Spider-Mans, those are like that too. Like that one part where it's just you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. It's just, it takes away from the realism of the movie. Like, yeah, like Spider-Man, like the realism of a guy shooting spider webs from building to building. But it's just these overacting extras. I would rather you stand there and just watch.
That's
more believable.
There's an Omaha actor who was in The Dark Knight, and do you name Ivan Lovegren? If you look at the Dark Knight scene where the Joker comes in and messes up the party, and Ivan, he was the only person with his hands up because they came in with guns and stuff. Everybody else had their hands down. And
see, that's kind of a realistic thing, though.
But he's like,
no,
he wasn't overdoing it.
If he was doing it like that,
he's a good actor.
But yeah,
Hyphen in the background. Holy shit!
Off.
Oh my God, guns!
Oh my God,
that extra's peeing his pants.
It's like those people.
You don't get extra, sir.
Like those people who are trying to be on the news or something like that, but you put those in a realistic movie. It's like.
Speaking of that, why are people so like excited to get on the news, like to walk by in the background and stuff, like because you think that somebody's gonna be watching, like, hey, I know that guy.
That's
like,
Tyrone.
Back then, I can see the craze because like, oh, it's TV. I'm on TV, but now you can put yourself.
I absolutely hate it, and I know it's hard to say this next thing without sounding full of myself, and trust me, I'm not full of myself.
I've been on the news so many times.
I am. It's every freaking year at Halloween time. I have to be on the news like 3-4 times because they come to interview me about like what's hot and what's not for the season. It's just like people are like, "Did you watch it?" No, I don't like watching myself. It's not exciting. So, anyways, Lonnie, you're next.
I hate, and it's a big pet peeve of mine, people who aggressively prank people on the internet to the fact of hurt them or financially cost them exponential amounts of money.
Like calling up raids on
Twitchers.
Twitchers.
Or people who like push people into fountains or steal stuff from them,
like the knockout game, and
all that. I think that's utter bullshit, and that's not funny, and that's not. I like people getting pranked. I think it's funny. I think it's humorous if you're doing it in a mature way. But if you're doing it like if you're running up to people, stealing their groceries and running off, or pushing old people over, or stuff like that, there's no place for that. That's just you being a prick.
Well, and you can thank things like YouTube and TikTok for stuff like that because it makes it easier to get
attention.
noticed.
Like no one thinks you're cool besides other assholes and dickheads.
I do like that when people film themselves doing something and then get arrested for it. It's like
absolutely
you're a fucking dumbass though. So
or like someone goes up to prank like some like smaller female on a sidewalk. And they're like, haha, I accidentally kissed you. And they turn around and her 6'8" rock of a boyfriend's there and uppercuts their fucking jaw off their head.
Those are the best videos to watch. Instant karma
right.
compilations.
I can go video from video, instant karma videos all day. Like those people, I guess, swerving into somebody else. That's one of my next ones is I've talked about it on a previous podcast was like bad drivers, people who do not use their turn signal. It's like, or do illegal turns because I have to, every time I'm behind the wheel, I always point it out. I think I'm probably just looking for it, but like I look at my rear view mirror, it's like, oh, okay, and then when somebody turns into the closest lane and you're turning into your closest lane you're supposed to, but they honk at you. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were going to do an illegal turn. You don't cross lanes. You have to signal to get over, move over when safe.
That's a pet peeve of mine too. Drives me crazy.
On
a side note here, I literally looked to see where we were at, and we were at 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 11 seconds. It was 111 all the way across the board. What the
I was actually going to take a picture of a cart I saw the other day.
God, I see it all the time.
That's an inside joke from a previous podcast. Catch up, listen us.
Nice plug. Anyways, I think we'll go around one more time with these pet peeves. This is another one that's going to be hard to explain, but I hate local businesses that
you completely...
No, he just did his.
Oh, sorry.
The
I thought he was just talking about it.
No, he said the cars, like bad drivers. Maybe you should have quit playing with your ding-dong in the corner.
He can't see his ding-dong.
I can't. That was on my list of being so fat I can't. can't see my dick.
Yeah. Okay, well, there goes my next one. No, but local businesses that take a popular song and hire somebody and they write their own lyrics to it. Like, I don't know if it's Paul Gerber, but there's one that plays on the radio all the time right now to that Spin Doctors song that
Two Princes
said if you want, like, and they hire the hokiest fucking voice singer person, and it's terrible, and the lyrics that they write are such a stretch. And I also, my biggest pet peeve are, and this doesn't have to necessarily be local businesses, but voice commercials that try to be funny, like Progressive has one right now, and it's just like a guy calling to talk to Flo on the phone and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you hear and she's like, what is that? And he's like, it's my mother. I'm here for the holidays, and she's doing what she used to do. She's listening to my phone calls. And then, like, later on, she's like, I think she's back. She's like, nope, that's my dad. It's like, it's not funny. Like, stop that shit.
What's that one that's right next to your work, the bowling one?
Tom Kelly's?
Yeah, they got like
Tom Kelly's Bowling Pro Shop.
They got some good, I mean, like, I like what they do. I just don't really care for the commercials because it's like you are just literally reading it. It's like, that's right, Dad. That's right.
That's right, Dad.
There's no inflection or anything.
You can go and bowl your brains out.
Say, how do they get the biggest deals on? Come on in.
We're doing, just for the hell of it, we're going to do one before we leave today for the Boundless Pod Trap of us.
That's right, Dad. We have the strongest bowling balls on the market.
What is your favorite podcast? Lonnie, is it the Boundless Pod?
We're doing that before we leave today.
Ha, ha,
man.
ha, ha.
That's good. Yeah. And it's funny you say that because our radio at work broke or something wasn't working, so we had to listen to the radio at our work, and that commercial their Christmas commercial played over and over and over. Now that you say that, I'm like, man alive.
All right, the fucking one commercial, is it Nebraska Diamond and Jewelry or whatever? They repeat the same thing at least like 5 times before the commercial is over. It's like, come on in to Nebraska Diamond and Jewelry. Or it's
866-5657.
I can't
That's
tell.
866-5657.
I can't tell if they play the same commercial like 3 times in sequence, and then it's like, did you just need to fill like a 30-second segment? And
Probably.
They paid for all of it.
Yeah. Oh, man. So now you're going to start listening to commercials a little bit differently now, local ones. That's right, Dad.
All right. My biggest pet peeve is that being called a geek or a nerd is acceptable now. Like, I got my ass kicked so many times through middle school and high school and got called a geek and a nerd obsessively.
It's only acceptable if you're a attractive female.
It's stupid.
Do you want to be a sexy criminal or a...
I'm a nerd.
Geek?
Oh, I like that. Let me get
No,
in
you're
your
not.
pants.
You play a fucking video game. You're not a nerd. A nerd is someone who sits and codes on a computer at night or hasn't showered in a month and a half, or like you geeks and nerds still get made fun of. That has never changed.
What if they haven't showered in like a month and are sitting at the computer at the local library?
Then that person is a nerd.
With their pants down.
Yeah, no.
I call them homeless.
I see what you're saying, because it's just like, you guys wouldn't know this, or you shouldn't know this, but going on like a dating site and you look at girls' profiles and read it and stuff, what you said, they use I'm a bit of a nerd as a good thing.
Yeah, you're a bit of a nerd because you watched fucking The Big Bang Theory. No, you're fucking not.
They're a nerd because they're into cosplay and stuff like that.
No,
and it's just like they do it because they know that the perverts out there are like, oh, she can dress up in a costume for me and I can do stuff to her.
That is one of the things, I guess, when it comes to like the English, well, I guess words, just language in particular, is like words change over time, and it does suck because it's like, well, you lost all of its meaning, or the meaning that it was once is negated, it's saturated, it's something else entirely.
Yeah, the nerd you made fun of in high school, and a lot of times, is that doctor is going to save your life someday. Like, that's the nerd
Except
you made
for
fun
when
of.
you're on the table dying, it's like, oh, you're the one that called me a nerd.
Oh, yeah, you called me a nerd. That's right.
I'm sorry. I can't help you.
I'm going to give you a third tit while you're in there. It's going to be internal, but...
An internal third tit. I'm going to ask my doctor about that.
So if you're internally hard, is it poking up against your heart or
You're
something?
going to have a 2-inch dick, but when you get hard, the inside's going to get erect.
Dude, there's a movie idea right there. A doctor
The internal dick?
inverts a guy's penis, turns it the other way, and says, if you get an erection, you're going to pierce through your your organs.
It's the most uncomfortable pain on the earth. See? And he holds up a hustler.
He's like, no.
Oh, God!
Takes him to a strip club.
Why are you doing this?
And now your wife has internal tits. Ha ha!
That's the twist at the end. Honey, look. Oh. Okay.
Part 2. There we go.
Part 2, tit for tat.
Another thing, I'm going to just add both of these here. One of my biggest pet peeves and another one that I've touched on.
Penises.
I was going to say something like that.
So when people don't wash their hands after they use the restroom, that's one I talked about, especially at the theater. It's like you just have all that butter on your junk and, you just walked right out. Or if somebody is preparing your food, do you think your hands are clean? You have to touch the door to go out? And sometimes they don't strategically put the garbage can over by the door. So you have to take the napkin out with you. And if they air dry it, you're just getting all that
butter on your dick.
Yeah.
Well, that's why most theater doors are push and not a pull.
Well, I like how they just kind of have the mini maze through. You have to go around the corridor type of thing.
Right.
Doop, doop, and you're in. But then that's kind of bad because usually when I go in there, I'm like, I have to preparation here.
He's taking his pants off.
So when I go into a theater that doesn't have a door, I try to so you hear me from inside. I'm like, oh.
You have a fart sound effect. You've done it so many times, but you're
it's
going
more-
fucking low key in 2021 now.
That's CGI, man. This is practical.
Yeah, practical effects.
Practical effects is more quality there.
You know what they do have on bathroom doors now?
The little step, but it's a heavy ass door and you can't even open it, so you
Yeah.
have to use the handle.
Maybe you should work on leg day rather than trying to get those vanity muscles.
Every day's leg day for me. I have to walk longer than a Proclaimer song every single day.
I don't know why I'm giving him shit. I carry Mox for 2 minutes, and I'm like, take him.
Lieutenant Dan, you've got new legs. Anyways. So
But,
yeah.
and my biggest pet peeve is, oh my God, when people bite their fork, and we're about to have lunch right after this, so don't do that, okay? It's just,
Bite your fork.
We're having sloppy joes and cornbred.
oh, don't use a fork. But yeah, when
food
people
of
bite
your
their fork,
ancestors.
I've had people I went out with to dinner or something like that. One of my coworkers from a previous job, man, he gets into it.
You're making
clamps-
my teeth hurt.
Clamps onto the fork and pulls it straight out. I'm like, I get the urge to next time you put that fork in your mouth, I want to punch it into the back of your throat type of thing. And I'm trying to walk the path of peace, but you're making me walk the path of pieces. It's not kosher for me.
What the fuck does that look like? That was
You had me until that.
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
It's like nails on a chalkboard. And nails on a chalkboard doesn't do anything for me.
that's what she said. So yeah, those are our pet peeves. Let's play a game.
Okay.
So you guys are going to need to write some things down. I gave you that paper, but you guys are also going to need to write your answers down on a piece of paper so you can't change them.
I feel like
Then
this
what
is
are
going
these
to-
pieces of paper for?
Those are two. I'll explain.
What if I ate my pieces of paper?
Then you're a goddamn liar because I see them right there.
Not all of them.
So this is what we're doing. This is a different game than I had planned because of a computer not working. I did not get the chance to do it. The original game we were going to play was I was going to have 3 songs overlapped in the one track, and you would get to listen to it for 10 seconds, and you'd have to pick the 3 songs that you hear. But because the computer lost its capability to put out a volume, I wasn't able to do that. So this one is going to be a little different. I'm not as excited with it.
Oh, changing it up on the spot. I like that.
This wasn't on the spot kind of type thing. So what I'm going to do, this is going to kind of be like Jeopardy. So I took quotes from movies, and I'm going to tell you right now.
Peanut loves
Uncle
Jeopardy.
Buck and the Great Outdoors are not an answer. So, and A League of Their Own is not an answer.
Jury duty.
So I'm going to read a quote from a movie.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it in kind of like a monotone, off-pitch type of voice.
So you're going to use your normal voice.
Yes. And me doing that probably really isn't going to make a difference, but I just think it would be kind of fun because it's an audio podcast. You guys you're each going to start with 100 points.
Okay.
You will wager on your pieces of paper that I cut. You will write down your wager. You have to wager at least 10 points per quote here.
Okay.
I have 10 quotes, 10 points at least. You can do more than that if you want to, if you feel good with it. And if you get it wrong, you will get those points deducted from the points you have. If you get it right, you'll get them added on. After the 10 rounds, we're going to do a final Jeopardy type of thing.
Okay.
Where you guys will do your wagering. Now, it's very important that you don't let your opponent see your answer. And it's very important that your opponent does not see what you wagered.
Do you have
I'm going to, you guys, after you write down your
do you have
answers
a red pen?
and your wager. No, I don't.
He can't see it if I write it in red.
Fuck you.
I get it. So you will write your answer down so the other doesn't see, and you will write what you wager, and you will slide it face down over to me, and I will be the only one that knows. So we are going to start with the first one here.
He looks like a dungeon master over there with all the...
Now, and you're not stopping me. You're letting me read this completely.
Read the full thing. Got it.
Okay.
So points has to be 10.
At least 10 or could be more.
Okay.
Depending on how you feel. All right. So number 1. He walked a little taller that day, and we had to tip our hats to him. He was lucky she hadn't beat the crap out of him. We wouldn't have blamed her. What he'd done was sneaky, rotten, and low. And Cole. Not another one among us would have ever in a million years, even for $1 million, have the guts to put the move on the lifeguard. He did. He had kissed a woman, and he had kissed her long and good. We got banned from the pool forever that day. All right. You have about 20 seconds.
Jeez.
Let me see your wager.
Just...
My throat's going to be sore if I keep doing that.
I have a voice modulation.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Damn it.
All right. Your time is up. Let me see your wager.
Oh.
Okay. So, Lonnie, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
What was the movie?
The Sandlot.
Correct. Your answer, Justin? I have to see it written down to know that you didn't change it.
The Sandlot 2. It was, and I put The Stand.
All right. So, let me add up here. All right. So, number dose.
We don't even get to know if we were right or not.
I said, yeah, The Sandlot was correct.
Oh, okay.
You didn't speak into the mic, so he didn't catch any of that. It was just empty audio.
All right. So, here is number 2.
Or black audio, if you will. Lonnie, that was for you.
I work my way from place to place, you know, tramp steamers and such, but I won my ticket on here in a lucky hand of poker. A very lucky hand. I got everything I need right here with me. Got air in my lungs and a few blank sheets of paper. I mean, I love waking up every morning and not knowing what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet, where I'm going to wind up. Just the other night I was sleeping under a bridge, and now here I am having champagne with you fine people. What movie was that from?
All right. That is that.
So, Lonnie, what's your answer?
I took a shot in the dark and said The Jerk.
You are incorrect.
I said Titanic.
Titanic is correct.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Hope you wagered big boy.
Number 3. Because yesterday I walked out of the joint after losing 4 years of my life, and you're cold decking Teen Beat cover boys. Because the house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes, the house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Who said it? Or actually, what movie is that from? And again, you can write down your wager and your answer on the piece of paper. That was me. Lonnie is now in.
Just in case.
Lonnie is incorrect.
You don't know that.
All
right, Lonnie, say what your answer was.
Rounders?
Nope.
Casino.
You were the closest, but that is still incorrect. The answer was Ocean's 11.
Oh, boom.
Danny Ocean said it to Brad Pitt. Rusty. Number 4.
Ooh, you were doing that voice. Like when you do that voice, all I think of is Dax Shepard.
See, and that's why I'm doing the voice, because I feel like it might throw you off a little bit. So,
Do you have any Dax Shepard lines in there?
I can tell you right now, no.
Oh, fuck.
So number 4, reality isn't father knows best anymore. It's a kick in the face on a Saturday night with a steel toe grip work boot and a trip to the hospital all bloodied and bashed for reconstructive surgery. But what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? What movie was that from? I can only imagine what your wife Tracy is thinking, because all she hears is me every couple minutes yelling monotone. I need a realistic point. You can only
didn't specify.
You can
that.
only wager what you can't go over 100.
Okay, then that's what I want to wager.
No less than 10, no more than 100.
I wagered 3 million.
And I will apologize, I did not specify that, because you guys actually don't know what your points are that you have right now.
So we can't go 3 million in the hole. Then I will do the max points.
Okay. So, boys, explain.
Go ahead.
Your answers.
I said the cable guy.
Oh.
Which is correct.
Oh, I said Barney's Grand Adventure.
Which is not correct.
It was close, though.
So after this next round, number 5, we're halfway through. I will show you individually what each of you have, so you can then wager. No, we're not going to do that. That's just going to confuse it. It's okay. So number 5. Before the final round, you will know everything that you have, though.
So we can only wager up to 100.
Up to 100, no less than 10. I'm sorry, I should have specified that at the beginning.
Rats.
All right, so number 5. Now, you may think you see a grease-painted performer sitting before you, but trust me, I'm not here to brighten your dismal day. I'm here to end your miserable life. You know, all in all, you've had a pretty good run, but deep down inside, you must have known it all had to end somewhere. My lovey now. What movie is that from? And I know Lonnie's got it. I can just tell.
Going on a hunch here. Have I seen this one? Do you know what?
Pretty sure you have.
I haven't seen that, what I guessed.
Well, I will have Justin, we'll have you say yours first.
I probably should have picked like a Rob Zombie one.
But you very well should have.
I said the Joker.
Which is incorrect, Lonnie.
It was 31.
All right.
Have you seen 31? I'm pretty sure you have.
I feel like I shut it off because it was crap.
Well, you would have seen this part, though.
Yeah,
This is the very, very
literally
first.
the monologue at the beginning. It's actually good. It's a little slow. It takes a while to get going, but
You have to watch it a couple times. All right, so this one is Justin. That's what you.
Hey, put another one.
Okay, so number 6. The part of the story I don't like is that the little boy gave up after looking for Happy after an hour. He didn't put posters up or anything. He just sat on the porch like a goon and waited. That little boy's got to think. You've got a pet. You got a responsibility. If your dog gets lost, you don't look for an hour and then call it quits. You get your ass out there and you find that fucking dog. Lonnie's already got it in my hands here, so he must feel pretty confident. Man, Justin, I thought these would have been easy for you.
I know this is the wrong one because I know the names of these ones, but fuck, never mind. Whatever.
Nudie magazine day. Nudie magazine day.
All right, Justin.
Nudie magazine day.
Just because you wrote this answer down after the last thing was you find that fucking dog, and then this is your answer. Tell everybody. Tell everybody.
That was a brutal movie. Because we touched a little bit on it, Homeward Bound.
Is incorrect, Lonnie.
It was Billy Madison.
That is correct.
Happy the clown. Happy or the penguin.
All right.
Happy.
Nudie magazine day.
This one's a little bit longer, so here we go.
All right.
I know that, Mr. Man. They also called them cereals. I'm not stupid, you know. Anyway, my favorite was Rocket Man, and once it was a no-brakes chapter. The bad guy stuck him in a car on a mountain road and knocked him out and welded the doors shut and tore out the brakes and started him to his death. And he woke up and tried to steer and tried to get out of, but the car went off a cliff before he could escape. And it crashed and burned. And I was so upset and excited. And the next week, you better believe I was first in line. And they always start with the end of the last week. And there was Rocket Man trying to get out, and here comes the cliff, and just before the car went off the cliff, he jumped free, and all the kids cheered, But I didn't cheer. I stood right up and started shouting, "This isn't what happened last week. Have you all got amnesia? They just cheated us. This isn't fair. He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car." What movie is that from?
Oh, I was right. Now I just have to add another number.
I'm thinking, though, you turned it in overzealous. So I
I
feel like
turned it in overzealous because I was like, I don't think I'm right, but I'm going to put it in. And I had my hand on it, and then you said the last word, and I'm like,
So I'll let it slide this time, but if you turn it in before I'm done, whatever's on there has to stay.
Well, I would have got it right regardless.
But now you got a bunch of points.
I did. Just because the cock-a-doodie is what gave it away.
All
That's what I was going off.
Justin, man, you're
I got it.
Struggling to
So
touch.
what was yours?
Mine was Backdoor Bros 3.
Correct. No.
Thank you.
Lonnie, do you want to tell him the right answer?
It was Misery.
Ah, I was close. See, I was really close with a lot of these.
I just read that book a while ago.
Backdoor Bros 3?
Yeah.
They made a book form out of that?
They did. It was super erotic. But no, like, I was like, man, this sounds so familiar. I'm just going to write Misery, and I'm going to lose 10 points. And I started sliding it up, and then he said cockamamie, and I was like, I'm right.
All right, number 8. You need to start catching up here, Justin. I will not rest until I have you holding a Coke, wearing your own shoe, playing a Sega game featuring you, while singing your own song in a new commercial starring you, broadcast during the Super Bowl in a game that you are winning, and I will not sleep until that happens. I'll give you 15 minutes to call me back. What movie is that from? Now, since you don't know your points, I will still let you wager 100. That's the max, even if you don't have 100. So...
I just lost it all.
Am I right, though?
You are.
I just can't think of the title of it. I said the one with Tom Cruise.
And Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
With Jerry Maguire.
Show me the money!
All right. Since you didn't wager much,
No, it's fine.
I'm going to take it away. I'm not going to give it to you. But Justin was correct with Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, the whole time my brain's going, show me the money! I'm like, that's not the name of the fucking movie.
All right, here we go. Number 9. I got laid off when they closed the asbestos factory. And wouldn't you know it, the Army cuts my disability pension because they said that the plate in my head wasn't big enough. What movie is that from? I thought this would have been the easiest one. Both of them are looking at the ceiling like they're in a comatose state.
Keeping my weeders low just in case.
Your wiener's low?
Yep.
Joe Cancer.
All right, boys, explain your answers. Or give your answers.
I said Nate's Fun Day Out.
Oh, that's a good one.
Incorrect.
I said Full Metal Jacket.
Which is also incorrect. The correct answer was Cousin Eddie from National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh, I wouldn't. It's been a very long time. I gotta see. That's one thing I've been wanting to revisit. Is a lot of those old National Lampoons. They had some really good ones. What was that road trip one? Is it National Lampoon's Road Trip?
Yeah,
that was like one of my favorite ones.
It was a
I
good one.
remember National Lampoon's Last Resort Vacation with Corey Feldman and Corey Haim.
Okay, the last one before we go to the final Jeopardy.
Okay.
Number 10. You gave me life. You gave me milk. You gave me courage. Your name was Angela, the angel from heaven. But you were also an angel of God. And he needed you too. Selfishly, I tried to keep you here while the cancer ate away at your organs like an unstoppable rebel force. But I couldn't save you, and I shall see your face nevermore, 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 until we meet in heaven. What movie is that from? Just hearing my voice read it like that is stupid. You got it. I'm just kidding. All right.
I said The Green Mile.
Incorrect.
Yes.
I said Patch Adams.
Which is also incorrect.
Good movie.
The correct answer, Robert De Niro in Meet the Parents.
Never seen it.
Do you Robert De Niro?
That's the new Uncle Buck.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to Final Jeopardy here. Justin.
Sir.
This is what you have.
Now bump it up. Bump it up.
Lonnie, it's closer than I thought it was going to be. Lonnie, this is what you have.
Okay.
So for this one, you can wager nothing, all of it,
More of
or
it.
just a little bit of it. And this one, you will have to give me not only the name of the movie, but the two characters that say it.
Nice. That narrows it down.
The character names or the actors?
I will take either or.
Okay.
So here we go. Look at those nipples. They're like little baby toes. It's just not fair they get to flaunt that stuff, you know? And like, I have to hide every erection I get. Just imagine if girls weren't weirded out by our boners and stuff and just like wanted to see them. That's the world I would one day want to live in. You know what I do? I flip my boner up in my waistband. It hides it and it feels awesome. I almost blew a load into my belly button. What are the two characters and what movie is it from? Everything's on the line here. This is life or death. One of these men is not going to make it home today.
I bet I know which one.
You don't know that. You don't know what he's been wagering.
I said the not making it home today.
Oh, well, that's true. One of these men might be at home much longer.
I can't even think of the name of the movie,
but you know the characters?
I feel like I do.
Very interesting. Okay, gentlemen, I need your things here.
All right.
I didn't have a legit
Mine's
answer
not going to be legible, but I will read it to you.
in his own language. It's all in hieroglyphs. That's fucked up.
All right, Justin, let's start with you.
I can't think of the name of the movie, but I remember they're talking about breastfeeding, and they're looking into the other room, and I thought it was Seth Rogen and maybe James Franco.
You were close. Those are not
the names,
but
it is an actor who works with them.
They were in that movie.
Oh, then I'm way off. I said Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
I did not get any of that, but we were chicken scratch.
I said Harold Kumar, and I put White and put their names.
Is it Ant-Man?
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
No.
Who said it? Who said it?
So the movie was super bad.
Super bad.
Ah, damn it.
And that was actually my original thought was, what's his name? Fat dude who got skinny, who got fat. Who said that to...
what's his bucket?
Yeah.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
All right. So the final score was Justin. You had 70 points.
I thought you said it was close.
Because I wanted to mess with you, so you might wager more. And Lonnie with 547. So Lonnie is our winner. So he has now got 3 wins, and we have 2.
I was fucking stressing out. I'm like, oh man, it's close. He must have been wagering high on
That's
those.
exactly why I said it, because I wanted it to mess with your mind.
Well, you did a good
Why do you
fucking
always
job.
insist on playing with our feelings like this?
So was that a fun game, guys, or stupid?
No, that was pretty fun.
You think our relationship is a game?
I think you need to give us a little bit more time.
No, because that makes it stressful for you.
The thing that the listeners don't know is like a lot of that dead space that is on
Gonna be
here.
cut out?
It's all cut out. So it looks like we're just giving answers after answers. Like, oh.
Yeah, like we're
very
smarter
good,
than we
fast.
actually
How
are. But
fast
there's
are
lots
those-
of us scooting away from our mics going, fuck.
Yeah, how fast are those guys
The
writing?
best part is watching you guys trying to think, staring up at the ceiling. All right, so Lonnie, you've now taken the lead.
3-2-2.
Tell me what you want to do to me, Daddy.
Oh,
So basically, Lonnie, if you win Justin's game, you're automatically going to get punished.
What do you mean? I'm not going to get punished.
Yeah, if you win.
If I win, I win.
No, the losers punish the winner. So it's fair. So you still win.
Oh, bullshit.
But if I win, I'll go back on that statement.
Well, no,
do what you were
I'm automatically safe now.
Not necessarily.
Unless we all tie.
No, we can
That could happen.
double up the fun.
If we tie, we go another round until.
Well, yeah, so I can't lose right now.
But it depends on which one of us.
I feel like this
is
is going to be like an ongoing Bill and Ted.
Both of us don't get punished. Just one.
3 out
person.
of 5.
No, I get that. But as of right now,
5 out of 7.
As of right now, I feel pretty safe.
You do, unless
you're going to throw it. Don't you roll your eyes like you're going to throw the game.
Unless you lose to me.
There's always...
I'm not going to lose to you. I've never once lost to you. I always tie to you.
He thinks he's superior than you. I'm going to go take a restroom break while you guys...
Are you really taking a restroom break?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I am now.
Well, let's get to your topic.
I got my man diapers on, so...
Okay.
The man person.
I smell the ammonia.
So... My topic, I kind of want to give you guys a little bit of brief history and aperture into something a little bit more.
Archetypes times 2.
I didn't
Electric Boogaloo.
I didn't feel you guys quite understood it the first time.
Yeah. So no, this is
I
closely.
will walk out. I will walk out.
This is closely perpendicular-fied into, like The Boy Who Cried Wolf, but it has like a history that I wanted to slap on top of it. That way you can get a little bit of an understanding as far as.
I hate when he uses the word history.
Yeah. So.
You know that story's made up, right?
Sometimes. Now, here's a short educational piece before we dive into the darker stories. Yeah. So the history. There's a guy named Baron Munchausen. He was a fictional nobleman based off of real life dude from the mid 1700s. His real name, the actual guy's name was Hieronymus Karl Friedrich Friar von Munchausen. Before we get into this is an actually serious question. Are you covering it all, like the actual Munchausen disease? Yes. Okay, cool. All right. So I didn't know if you guys are familiar with Munchausen.
No.
All right. So anyways, there was the author, the German writer. He was kind of a con artist, if you will. He heard about the real life guy. The fucking pyramids. And he was, yeah, exactly. And he was I don't want to say cahoots, but like he frequent the actual Munchausen dudes like parties. So where this guy he was kind of an entertainer, a military man who had stories that he would bring back from certain wars and whatnot. But the author made like these little tabloids, and the Munchausen, the actual guy, had a little bit of a beef in a sense, but it wasn't necessarily wrong. Like I'll just get into it. So these stories were intentionally comical, such as first-person views of riding on a cannonball, traveling to the moon, various militant stories and adventures. They were extremely outlandish. I mean, obviously not real-life type thing. If you ride on a cannonball back in the 1700s, that's your ass. Cannonball rides you. Like,
why are you looking at me like that?
I was waiting for a response anyways.
That's what she said.
But in defense of the writer guy, the real Baron Munchausen he studied with Munchausen. So yeah, like I said, that they knew each other. He was kind of a storyteller himself. He wrote for different things, and then when he met this guy, he just kind of like, ooh, I'm going to put this one in my pocket. I'm going to profit off of this guy. So Munchausen, the actual Baron Munchausen, he would host dining parties, and a lot of people would come to these. It's very distinguished parties and whatnot. So the writer Rudolf Rasp, he pretty much stole those stories and then embellished them. So the character is not too popular here in the States, but he is well known in Europe still today. Germany, Deutschland. He is the source of inspiration for many memorials, museums, and today medical conditions, as Lonnie was kind of suggesting. So a review from one of Raff's first books goes as follows. This is a satirical production calculated to throw ridicule on the bold assertions of some parliamentary declaimers. If rant may be best foiled at its own weapons, the author's designs is not ill-founded, for the marvelous has never been carried to a more whimsical and ludicrous extent. And for me, like, I'm a huge fan of like the Onion News and just like taking actual things and making it satire, primarily like poking fun of oneself, like the characters of like Leslie Nielsen's mini portrayals like in Naked Gun, and even Steve Carell in like The Office or Get Smart. Stuff like that. So today, we're going to string this into the main topic here. The next rung of this ladder is the FDIS, sorry. Due to the character of Munchausen, often conflating his stories, lying, if you will, to entertain a crowd, and the legend that ensues afterwards, it's roughly all about seeking attention. So the disease, I'll explain a little bit further here. So FDIS is also known as Munchausen Syndrome. It means fictitious disorder imposed on self. And it's actually a lot more common than a lot of people think. It mainly feign diseases, psychological trauma to draw attention, sympathy, or validation. It's a telltale sign of those who love to play victim, which is very common today. Yeah. There's, like, we live in an era that is just victimhood. Who is the most victim? And
basically everybody I know.
Yeah.
No,
the thing is like being a victim today means that you can benefit off of things, whether it be relational attention, financial, anything.
Right.
We all know and experience people who have done that for their own. Yeah.
Once or twice.
Or do we? I mean, we don't know anybody here personally who do that. Who would do that? So you have hypochondriasis, which is more worrisome in nature. And then you have somatoform disorders, which is more of a mental disorder. But that manifests as physical symptoms that suggest illness or injury. Hypochondriacs can become somatic because the stress and worry can prohibit natural functions, but fictitious disorders like Munchausen syndrome are a lot more distinct. It's a psychological need to be filled by assuming the role of a patient or in the care of a caregiver.
Yeah, hypochondriacism, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but hypochondriacism is more convincing yourself you have it, where Munchausen's more convincing other people that you have it.
And some people don't even know that they're doing it unless, well, I mean, they do, but they don't.
Right.
It's like it's not necessarily the main objective.
Yeah, Munchausen's more trying to get sympathy from people, and hypochondriacism's just a way of
just trying to stay safe. Or something like that.
Or even convince yourself that you're dying.
There's no hypochondriacs are solely on their own health, their own safety.
Right.
Whereas Munchausen is mainly on validation.
Right.
Its causes are assumed to be past trauma or even hereditary, like depression, which I think can kind of bring a lot of pause towards certain things. Like studying this, I've kind of looked back on certain family and even friends. I'm like, holy crap, like that's totally like I have somebody right now who's trying to do some stuff. And it's like, yeah, we'll get into that. Hold on. So I want to get to the FDIA, the fictitious, meaning to manufacture, to employ by itself. It's a disorder imposed on another, formerly Munchausen syndrome by proxy. So yeah, that was FDIS, doing it on self, FDIA, doing it on another person. It's usually shortened to just Munchausen syndrome or Munchausen. It's a mental illness in which person acts as if an individual he or she is caring for has a physical or mental illness when the person is not really sick. It's a malingering at its finest. FDIS seeks attention and comfort. FDIA seeks attention or desired outcomes such as compensation, relief from duty or work. I know a lot of people who try to just make something up so they try to get it. I mean, everybody has done that at one point or another, whether it be an event. I do have somebody at my work right now who I think a lot of people think it's just bullshit. So since 1965, 55 years ago, out of just under 800 confirmed cases of Munchausen by proxy were recorded in the Medline database, and 98% of those were female. 96 of those numbers were the victim's actual mother. That's oftentimes the case, is mothers do this mostly. There are a few fathers, and like, man, just like researching this, looking up certain videos and stuff, man, it'll piss you off. Like I was watching one where people were putting cameras in hospitals because they can't necessarily figure out what's going on. And these parents would suffocate their kids so they can stop crying and maybe fall asleep or something like that to just render them unconscious. And man, it's really fucked up. Like you want to just climb into the screen and beat the crap out of them. It's like you're seeing like these little legs just kicking and stuff. Like they're struggling. It's a rough watch. I don't recommend it.
Well, there's a lot of Munchausen parents out there as well who will give their children narcotics and drugs and poisons so that their children are constantly sick. So it's like, oh, feel bad for me because my kid is sick. My kid's always sick. I can't go out because my child's sick. My child has this. Feel bad for me because my child's sick. They're such pieces of shit that they can't physically harm themselves.
That's kind of like,
so they'll do it to their kids.
That's kind of like in the movie The Sixth Sense. Isn't
the little girl
nurse or whatever?
Was it bleach or something like that?
Yeah, she kept putting it in like her food and stuff to keep her sick.
Right. Yeah, but in real life that happens so often. It's fucking pathetic.
Right. And I think if you have issues with your in life, and if you feel like you need to harm, I don't recommend harming yourself, but don't harm other people.
Absolutely not.
It's really fucked up. I personally consider Munchausen by proxy to be one of the heinous acts anybody can do. It's an innocent child, and it's usually an infant, a toddler, or somebody who is just, they don't know any better. And you're being the life that brought the person into the world. You look to your parental figure as the person who's supposed to save you. Right. And lots of times it's the one who's might end up killing you. what did I write down here? So bring a life into the world and then subject them to unnecessarily hospital visits, needless operations, and even many events actually result in death. So there are a few cases I wanted to touch on. So we're climbing up this little ladder here. I want to peer into a few windows here. The first window, we're going to talk about Hope Ibarra. She started a sort of FDIS into FDIA. She was, I don't know if she was a medical professional, but she worked in an environment where she had medical, like she was enabled into something like that. It was roughly medical. She scammed many out of donations by making a story for herself, claiming she was on a third relapse of cancer. All the arrangements made, casket, burial plot, like she had a website pretty much made, and yeah, she was just accepting donations. She was married at the time and even kind of fooled her husband for a while because she shaved her own head, and it was popular. She attempted a mild Munchausen by proxy with her second child, falsifying cerebral palsy, putting her in braces. Luckily for that child, they seemed to miraculously heal upon the birth of their third child, which sucks for that third child because she had pretty much all the reign. She was at home alone. Her husband was working. She used the infant girl to scam others through fundraisers, which raised over $100,000. Terminal cystic fibrosis was one of the diagnoses that she personally diagnosed her infant with. The infant underwent 4 years of surgeries, pokes and prods, therapies and tests, needles, excessive surgeries. So Hope Ibarra was known to have access to certain pathogens from her job, like I was mentioning. And so a pathogen is pretty much like a germ or an organism that can produce a disease. It develops it's like a bacteria that just replicates itself. So it's an infectious agent. Her daughter ended up with contracting a number of those, which she shouldn't have been, especially in care of a hospital. She's currently serving 10 years and should be out about now.
10 years, that's it?
Yeah. This was back in 2010 when she was sentenced. So I'm proud to say that since her arrest, that infant daughter has made a recovery. She should be about 16 years of age right about now, too. Let's peer over to the next window. So we have Blanca Montano. She was a 21-year-old mother poisoning 2 of her kids, kind of like the last one, but she took 2 of them in, and they were both tested and found E. coli, which you can kind of get from fecal matter. Her son recovered, but the infant daughter got worse. Every time the mother was left alone at the hospital, it seemed to the daughter's conditions were worsened. They would be able to stabilize the daughter's condition, and then again and again. And then she was one of the cases where they did put a secret camera into that hospital. And the fucked up thing with that is like she did know that there was a camera in there. She even was known putting like a piece of cotton over the camera lens and then administering something. A few of the procedures that were administered to that daughter, the infant daughter, were bone marrow biopsy and laparoscopic surgery, which bone marrow biopsy is where they can anesthetize the surface area, the skin, but I'm not sure if they use anesthesia for the infants since they're like under a certain age. But you cannot anesthetize the bone. And laparoscopic surgery is when they cut open the stomach to feed a camera through. So they're pretty much just mutilating a baby for no reason. And being the mother, you're pretty much allowing this just for your own attention. I think it was said for her that her husband didn't give her enough attention, so she was mutilating her baby for this. It's pointless. I hate when parents weaponize their kids for the relationship of the other, even if they don't want anything to do with them. So it took about 5 days when they put a secret camera in there for them to find out that she was harming her own child. She was even caught on video contaminating her 5-month-old daughter intravenous lines with shit, which caused her to contract 6 to 9 infectious diseases. Jesus. She was putting shit in her stomach tube. So in the case of Montano, she was purposely trying to set off the IV lines, and she was sentenced to 13 years, and then 7 months old did also survive too. One of the more darker rooms I want to peer into is Lacey Spears. This is probably one of the more popular ones. Her and another woman, I think they both got like Netflix specials. I haven't seen any of those, but I'm familiar with these from like old podcasts from like a few years back. So Lacey Spears, a young Alabama mama. Yeah, she was frequenting the hospital since the birth of her son. She needed the attention bad that she created a whole blog to her son Garnett's health for 5 years until she pretty much killed him with table salt back in 2014. And his death was due to high amounts of sodium through his stomach line as well. some of these parents, they go out of their way to try to implement some sort of feeding tube so they have control of what they eat or don't eat. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with them. And they shop around. So if one doctor says, oh, there's no reason for this, they'll just go to the next doctor and the next until somebody's like, okay, and you'll have paperwork by then saying like, I went to this doctor and they suggest this, and like they can't do that here, so they'll do that here, and the doctor would just sign off on it and do it. And since it's an infant child, they just perform it. Yeah, so she made up all these stories on like the blog. Her baby's daddy, Blake, was a police officer who was killed just before the birth of the baby Garnett. But he miraculously returned to life to reassume his duties as a police officer with no recollection of having fathered a kid with this woman. So that's weird. Or maybe she just lied, supposedly to protect her son from the actual dad, who was a great father to another child with no knowledge of baby Garnett. She made up the story of the dad being a police officer. Her family didn't even know. They're like, who the hell is this guy you're putting on this blog? And we didn't even know that you're in a relationship with this guy. But I don't know how short-lived the relationship with the actual dad was, but he was known to have fathered another child and was an awesome dad. She just didn't want her son to think that his dad was a deadbeat or anything. It's like, you didn't bring the receipts. Back to Garnett. It was actually never proven that he was sick at all, yet they went through all these little surgeries and feeding tubes and stuff. His first hospital visit was a fly-in due to severe dehydration from high sodium levels. 23 hospital visits in her first year due to her own blog. So take that with a grain of selenium. No, parents like these, like they said, they shop around. Videos did show interviews that she insisted on having a feeding tube so she can have direct control. She moved into the community called a fellowship. Lonnie, you might consider the slight cultish. There's a lot of people who do that. And there was another video of a woman carrying her own child. But I guess Lacey, she was claiming that kid as her own too. And somebody questioned the girl and her kid. It's like, oh, yeah, that's Lacey's baby. And she's like, what? No, this is my kid. Like, no. She moved into the community called the Fellowship. She complained he wouldn't eat, but in the presence of others, they said that he couldn't stop eating. She's currently serving 15 more years on a 20-year sentence to life and second-degree murder, first-degree manslaughter. The life charge is questionable because of the judge's judgment of her suffering from Munchausen by proxy. And that was back in 2015. So the last window, this one I don't necessarily know what to think because all of the buildup that has came after it. So Dee Dee Blanchard, I think. Are you familiar with Dee Dee Blanchard and Gypsy Rose Blanchard?
Gypsy Rose sounds familiar.
Gypsy
but not
Rose,
Dee Dee.
Yeah, Gypsy Rose is the daughter. Dee Dee is the mother. Dee Dee is the name that she has gone by. I think it's like Claudestine or something like that. I didn't actually write that one down. So, mother of Gypsy Rose at 24. The dad of Gypsy Rose was a 17-year-old. I don't know if they were actually married, but he remarried later. He was trying to be in the child's life, but again, when the mother is there all the time, 24/7, having full reign over what's going on, and being a 17, 18-year-old by this time, because she was making up all these diseases or something like that, it's like, I don't think he's knowledgeable enough. I mean, he was just a 17, 18-year-old guy trying to have some fun. At 3 months, Gypsy, she started to make hospital visits due to Dee Dee's own diagnosis of sleep apnea. Tests never gave anything conclusive. She pressed that Gypsy had chromosomal disorder, and the dad's like, oh, okay, well, whatever. I don't blame the dad. I mean, there's only so much you can do. So at about 7, Dee Dee forced her daughter, Gypsy, into a wheelchair because of a motorcycle accident. But it was like she only got like a scrape on her knee. And so the mother's like, oh, you need to be in a wheelchair. It was like very minor. Yeah, this event seemed to be the main spark. So clearly before Gypsy could grasp the building blocks of public education, her mom pulled her out and homeschooled her. So Dee Dee paraded her around at the Special Olympics, claiming she was 8 when she was actually 10. Dee Dee was claiming that Gypsy was suffering from leukemia, asthma, muscular dystrophy, brain damage due to being a preemie, and that she only had a mental capacity of a toddler. So around Hurricane Katrina, she really got her hands in. She claimed that like her medical records were lost at the hospital, so that the hospital was her actual playground then. So it's like, oh, we just experienced this traumatic event. We lost everything, but this is all the conditions and things that we have that I can tell you right now.
Which at that time they already had
Some hospitals did.
electronic medical.
Yeah, but they were moving around. They were at like 3 or 4 different places in the nation. So there was an onslaught of physical and mental abuse ensued, unnecessary surgeries and medications. She was milking foundations like Make-A-Wish, Ronald McDonald House, among a few. They received a wheelchair ramp, a hot tub, Disney World trips, free flights, and worst of all, backstage passes to Miranda Lambert concerts.
Woohoo.
I feel bad for Gypsy. Now, after, her dad remarried but tried to visit. And, like, it seems like every time her dad was able to call, like on her birthdays, there was a birthday where it was her 18th birthday. And when Dee Dee answered, she's like, don't make any reference to her birthday. She still thinks she's 14 years old, but she's actually 18. It's like she had the birth certificate at one of the hospitals, but when her dad was trying to actually come and visit, other things came up. She always lied or made an excuse or some sort of story to get out of him visiting. So she was very protective of her. So she made excuse after excuse, sideswiping any visitation. Dee Dee kept Gypsy bald, shaving her head, saying that, like, since you're taking all this medication, you're just going to go bald anyway, so we'll just continuously shave your head. There's a few other surgeries that she would as far as, like, her salivary glands, she put Botox in her salivary glands supposedly to reduce the drooling until eventually she underwent a surgery around, like, 20. They actually extracted her salivary glands. Again, it's unnecessary. She still wasn't aware of her age at this point. There was a incident where she did go to the hospital with her mom, and she was able to see a birth certificate. And she's like, well, it says here that I'm this old. And the mom, Dee Dee, was like, oh, it's just a misprint. It was lie after lie, surgery after surgery. Yeah, she squeezed her hand hard, like in public, if Gypsy Rose would have said something that wasn't off the script of what Dee Dee was planning. So if somebody's like, well, why can't you do this? Whatever, like if she were to leave or go outside, or if anybody were to see her, she had to be in her wheelchair. Everywhere she went, she had the oxygen tank, the feeding tube, the wheelchair, the meds. Like, it was a full on, like, the neighbors thought that she was highly disabled. It was really rough. It's pretty much once you're born, you're put into a prison. There was also a part where Dee Dee leashed her own daughter. She handcuffed her to a bed for 2 weeks. Like, it's a hostage situation. Long story short, Dee Dee Blanchard comes up dead, murdered. Her neighbor's immediate response was that it was a murder, kidnap due to no sign of Gypsy, and all the medical aids left, the wheelchair, oxygen tank, feeding tube, everything I just mentioned. Everything was left at the scene. It was only a day or two afterwards where Gypsy was found. There was a boyfriend that she met at christiansingles.com. Play the jingle. So Gypsy established a relationship, an online relationship. She was able to do a few things. Like, she was kind of a nerd going to cosplays. Sorry. She actually learned to reading Harry Potter books. Because I highly doubt her mother.
She really was a nerd. She's reading those books.
No, but so she met, like, this guy from Wisconsin who, I mean, he was on an autistic scale, not to give him any leeway. No, but what are you doing? But yeah, no, he was on an autistic scale, and they kind of discussed, like, there's certain medical disadvantages,
Right.
And she was also kind of, like, confiding into him, like, well, my mother does this, and she had, like, at least up to 5 different Facebook accounts. Her mother found out about this relationship and smashed her laptop with a hammer.
She catfishing bitches.
No, but there was a time where I'm assuming all the aid and stuff that, like, these foundations are giving her, like, they're setting them up to live. Like, they're going to Disneyland, they're staying at, like, hotels and stuff, and yeah, they had it pretty nice due to the moms wanting these sympathies. And the boyfriend, he was able to fly down on, I'm assuming, funds of that, and they met up a few times. They went to a movie together. They were trying to keep everything on the hush. And then there was a time where one night, so he came in, Gypsy snuck her in while her mom, Dee Dee, was sleeping. Gypsy gave the boyfriend the tape and the knife to, tape her down and kill her. And Gypsy hid into the closet. He went ahead and did the business. They did their business, took $4,000 from...
Chugga chugga?
Yeah, chugga chugga. Yeah, and then they just try to skip town. Yeah, even Dee Dee's own family, Dee Dee was a piece of shit through and through.
Right.
So there was a small period when Gypsy and Dee Dee, well, when Gypsy was a baby, that they stayed with Dee Dee's actual dad and her stepmother. And Dee Dee ended up poisoning her stepmother with weed killer. And then upon recovering, the dad was asking, confronting, it's like, are you behind this? What's going on with Gypsy? It doesn't even seem legit. Dee Dee took Gypsy and fled town, changed her name to Dee Dee from Claudestine. Yeah. But upon hearing about the death, her own dad and family, they're like, well, she got what she got. I'm not putting anything towards any funeral costs. I'm not coming to claim any ashes, whatever, bygones. So the boyfriend had gotten life to prison and Gypsy got 10 years. So she should be out in like the next 5 years. So she's like in the middle of that. I'm not necessarily like, I don't like, yeah, you did the deed, you did the killing or assisted in it. But like you were a prisoner like this whole time. But there was a quote that Gypsy said while incarcerated. She said that like being in prison is a much better than being with her mom, because at least being in prison, she can live life being a real woman and she'll be out to live her life she's since recovered from most of the stuff, I'm assuming. She doesn't have to take any medication. She can grow her hair back, although she doesn't have her salivary glands.
Slobbery glands.
Yeah, slobbery glands. Climb back down these ladders, we'll have a little discussion. There is a lot of people who assume, like, I hate when child services gets their nose involved in certain stuff when it doesn't need to. Like, it's happened to me, but I was not part of like any of this like Munchausen type of thing. But
I've seen you try to feed your daughters bricks. From what you're into.
It's like, it's a straw. I got it from McDonald's. Like, that's what it is.
You son of a bitch. Think of the turtles.
Don't. I did. That's why I had like a whole bag of straws. So I was like, man, I got to get rid of these. So I just threw them all in the ocean. It's like, I'm trying to do my part. No, but yeah, most of these mothers are attention seeking seemingly from some sort of authority to validate that they are being good mothers. Natural health of a child does not seem to be validation enough for these mothers. There's a separation, like some sort of cognitive dissonance. They need to feel more than just anonymous. That was kind of one of my findings with this. Is like, I don't know, being a parent yourself, like, do you need attention for somebody else that you need to harm your child? Be like, oh my God, he's hurt.
No. The attention for my child, besides the, couple hours of every other week we do this, is pretty much my only focus. So
right.
I don't need attention from other people for my child.
There's a few incidents where I was playing with my girls, or I guess we'll just say my oldest one, when she was a baby, and like it's common that like what is it, nurse elbow or something like that, where the elbow can kind of pop out of the socket.
Yeah.
And like just playing with them, it's like, oh crap, like I was just trying to have fun with you, and like she went like a whole day with like she wouldn't use her arm, and then we took her into like emergency care, and like I felt like a piece of shit the whole time. It's like, I don't want to tell anybody about it, but like I want her to get better. It's like purposely hurting your child just for attention. Like it's a piece of shit thing. Like, and there are people who are accused of that, and they have like a foundation called MAMA, which is Mothers Against Munchausen Allegations. Doctors can claim Munchausen if a parent is not being cooperative or troublesome, or if they're unable to pinpoint a chronic disease, they can just say it's this. Because, like I said, like spitting shit into your child's IV lines, or feeding tubes, or injecting them, making them eat bleach on like in their cereal or soup, or
and only getting 10 years for it.
Yeah,
stupid.
It's like because they it's a disorder. Like they lighten the sentence because of that. So like a little taking pause back. Like if you have like somebody who kind of constantly posting updates about their kid, like, oh, well, he's doing a little bit better today, but it's still a struggle. And I'm not saying all of them are Munchausen mothers, but yeah.
Some of them are just terrible parents.
That too. So like victims of Munchausen, like I'm assuming like Gypsy and the other one that survived, they experience like a level of trauma. Like they develop a lingering fear of ever visiting a hospital again. So like if they have a serious illness, they probably don't want to go back because it's just a constant reminder of what used to be.
Right.
But
What's the opposite of Munchausen, like me and Jeremy have, where we refuse to go to the doctor?
Yeah. True.
it's like I'm sick. I know I'm sick. I know it's Corona. It's just this morning I went to shopping because I was supposed to have a dinner with my family, and
Supposed to?
Yeah,
You're not anymore.
I am going to.
Oh. You used past tense, like
I'm supposed
we're
to.
supposed to.
Yeah. Sorry. But and like some lady just yelled at me at the store because so I'm like going through all like the vegetables, you know, because I'm trying to make like some bruschetta. I got the garlic, so we're good there.
Didn't even need to ask.
We go to your house, and we have to go through the garlic room to get to your house.
There you
The
go.
Hendrickson's house still smells like garlic.
Whoops.
Hey,
But-
yo.
But yeah, like the lady just kind of bitched me out because, like, yeah, as I'm trying to bag it and I pull my mask down and licking my fingers to open the bag, and you know, and then I'm grabbing the stuff, and you know, and they're like, "What the fuck? Yeah, put your mask on." I'm like, "I'm trying to open the bag."
It's okay. I pump shit in my daughter's. I don't know. I mean, that,
Will you lick my fingers? Is your mouth cleaner than mine?
I don't know. I just think that whole situation is messed up to do something like that. And what, just like I said, what angers me the most is like their piss poor sentence that they get.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, when it's figured
Well,
out
we
that
already
they're
know-
purposely trying to keep their kids sick or whatnot, it should automatically be like treated as you killed somebody, you murdered somebody.
Right. It's like we already know, like, the court systems do favor females, especially mothers, too. Like, in most cases of separations, it's usually benefit towards the mother, unless you're a total piece of shit. Like, I've already killed 2 of my kids, and I
I don't know. I think, it's always in favor of women, even when it's obvious that the woman is not a fit mother and that the dad's a better person, they still favor the mother.
Yeah,
I mean,
99% of states, I believe, are mother's right states.
yeah.
just I don't care that she grew the child.
Right.
I mean, it should be what's the best interest for the child, and it should be easy to figure out who's the better parent for the child.
It's not necessarily the blood-related parent or whatever that is the best one, you know, the best fit. It's like there's many flourishing stepchildren because they have a loving parent, somebody who can actually guide them and not steer them wrong.
This is kind of off topic, but on topic. Do you guys ever watch those videos on YouTube of like kids asking their step parent to like adopt them?
Yeah.
And like usually it's around Christmas time and it's like, or the person's birthday and whatnot. And it's like these grown men with muscles, tattoos, and beards. And it's just like they're bawling like little kids. And then there's me at home like tearing up as I'm watching it too. Yeah. I don't know.
No.
You don't watch
I
them?
have no idea what you're talking about.
You should watch them. It's good videos to watch. It's not stupid video of somebody doing something stupid. It's actually good in the world, and
They should leave it.
It's heartwarming.
They should leave those like set it up for like, is it a yes or is it a no?
Play the Larry Davis music after that.
Tune in next time.
Fuck no!
Oh,
But that's that. That's Munchausen.
Nice.
Sorry to bring you guys down.
No,
here.
you didn't. When you started it, it was one of those talks where like you started it with the this is gonna be one of those, and then you got into it, and I was like, all right, I can dig this, and then you brought it back down at the end. So
But I try to bring it back up because Dee Dee's bitch ass got killed. And her own
yeah,
family are like,
fuck,
whatever.
fuck that girl, fuck that bitch, fuck that bitch,
gross.
fuck that bitch.
All right.
Bitch.
That
Hey,
was
before we get out of here, fellas, what do you want the boundies? What do you want to tell them going into 2021? Spread the word. Happiness.
boundies.
Happiness. It's fucking Justin's word.
It's sticking. It's catching on like wildfire.
It's not
I was reading the comments to some of our previous videos, and like one comment's like, you know, Justin is probably the best, sexiest. That was from Stacy.
probably true.
At Justin Lubash.
No, my advice to the boundies.
He said it. We got him.
We're all in.
Don't be so selfish. Make 2021 a year where you're thinking about others and putting others before you.
Yes, critical thinking should be priority for this year because we haven't had any of that in the last
Right.
year, let alone 4 years. or more.
More.
Yeah.
Since 2000, it all went out the window, it seemed like. But then again, I was kind of lost in the overall society of everything.
Yeah. I'd say, take pictures with your buddies. We don't have enough pictures with you and your best friends. Take pictures with your buddies, because you never know when you're not going to be able to anymore. So,
right on. Well, thank you guys for listening to episode 15. We're going to go out back and kick each other's asses for talking about Fight Club.
We're taking pictures with the buddies.
Take pictures with your buddies.
We can't
As he just zooms it on his own
Fuck
face.
it. Well, I can't. It's too small. That's what she said.
All right. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.
Penis.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Join us next time for more absurdity that only the guys from the Boundless Pod Trap can bring you.